All right, so welcome back, everybody, to another episode here on the Sitrep Podcast. I'm your host, Ariskany Jim. Today I am joined by my girlfriend, Jen, otherwise known as Glades Runner or Because Science Teacher. Hello, Jen, how you doing?
Afternoon, all.
Okay, guys, so we're going to do a little bit of a change of pace today, looking at HK Ops. And sort of the reason this is a change of pace is it's technically not a war game. This is a modern military role-playing system that has been developed by us here on the Sitrep Podcast. It does obviously borrow very heavily from other systems. We're not trying to, what's the word here, sell a system or, make any money out of this. We often create our own systems here on Sitrep Podcast, or at least I do. I create our own systems here on Sitrep Podcast because we have to play everything virtually, obviously. Even before COVID, we have to play everything virtually. We have players on literally I'm counting continents, 1, 2, 3, 4 continents. Technically that's not true. North America, Latin America, that's Latin America. It's not really a continent, I understand. Asia, and of course Europe. We're all over Europe. So it's hard for us to get around the gaming table and chuck D20s the old school way with old school pen and paper, pencil and paper RPGs. So we have to do things virtually. Lots of people run games virtually nowadays. I know Toughy Years runs a lot of games virtually. RPGs, I should say, virtually. So this is our kind of take on that medium, so to speak. Cool. So yeah, James Cutt says, finally catching one of these live again. Awesome, James. We're definitely glad to have you back with us. And again, thanks for coming out for Toughy Years. Again, of course, thanks as always, Because Science Teacher for coming out and helping us out. I'm surprised we honestly have any audience at all today, with the whole UK Games Expo wrapping up. But hey, Sunday is our day, and I really, really try not to let a day go by with me on the schedule. So, HK Ops, Hunter Killer Ops, a very generic title, but we wanted to keep everything in this game very generic so that we could, give players the maximum amount of freedom when it comes to designing their characters. It says modern military role-playing, obviously, or I should say that despite that name, modern military role-playing, a lot of our games, in fact almost all of our games, have been, technically speaking, private military contractors who are not military. The vast majority of them are former military, but they're not military. This was chosen for several reasons. First of all, it was chosen by the group, not by me. The group that we game with, or we used to game with. But the reason that this was chosen was, number one, it allows people from all different countries to play. You don't have to sign up. Military role-playing is tougher than people think, especially if you do it right. Because guess what? I hate to tell you this, you all have to be from the same country. And this might not be the most politically correct thing to say, but you all have to be men. At least in most, combat MOSs, where you're going to be going out, shooting bad guys. Allowing us to sort of, take the paramilitary or private military contractor approach, not really paramilitary, but private military contractor approach is, this allows a lot more freedom. So a private military contractor, or PMC, is basically a security firm, air quotes. You're technically a civilian. You probably have a military background, but you're technically a civilian and you work for a civilian company, and they can hire whoever they want. They do need a lot of skills besides just grunts, with laced-up boots and, bolts carried forward and automatic weapons, shooting bad guys. They are going to need vehicle technicians. They're going to need computer technicians. They're going to need, civil affairs guys. They're going to need engineers. They're going to need. They're basically private militaries. They're clean mercenaries, although even the word clean can be very foggy in a lot of places. But anyway, enough jibber jabber. Let's get into how this system works. So the whole thing is run in Excel. This way I can have a single workbook open and everybody sees everybody's character sheets, everybody sees the maps, everybody sees the bad guys, the orders, the mission profiles, the vehicle charts, whatever it is that you need, boom, you've got it. It's here, it works, it's great, all is well. Okay, So this is what a character sheet looks like. It looks a little different than a lot of character sheets. First and foremost, it is formatted landscape instead of the usual either A4 or 8.5 by 11 portrait, because it's not meant to be printed out on paper. This is a computer virtual RPG. Again, this does borrow heavily from some systems, most importantly, the old school, and I mean old school, 1990 and 1991 original White Wolf games. Vampire the Masquerade, Werewolf the Apocalypse, Mage the Ascension especially. Obviously this game has no supernatural element to it. It is much more, brass casings and body armor, real life stuff. This game will kill you. This game will put you in a wheelchair for the rest of your life, shitting in a bag. This is, at least within the construct of a role-playing game, it's still supposed to be fun, obviously, but at least within the construct of a role-playing game, it's supposed to be realistic. I don't care what level you are, a bullet in the head and you are dead. And there's no healing spells, there's no med packs, and there's no resurrection spells. So be careful if you ever play HK Ops. The K in HK stands for killer, and we will kill you. And of course you will kill the enemy. So we have some of our other characters here. Each box that is filled in represents a rating in that either skill or that attribute. And of course, the more boxes that you have filled in a certain skill pool, and I'll go over how that works super fast, the more dice you get to roll. You're trying to get over a certain amount, and that amount is all on D10s. That target number is higher for difficult tasks, lower for easy tasks. And the number of dice that you roll that either meet or beat that target number is considered a success. And the more successes, the better you succeed. This is especially useful if you are trying what's called a contested roll. So let's say I'm shooting at somebody. That would be a dexterity plus firearms check, or rifle check. So this character here, this is actually Rasmus's character, has 3 dots in dexterity and 3 dots in rifle. Or boxes. That's a total of 6 boxes. He gets to roll 60-10. Okay, let's say the target number is 6. Okay, everything is 6 and above on a 60-10 is a success. Odds are he's going to get 3 successes. Okay, great. However, the opponent, say, has 2 boxes in agility, and let's see, maybe he's taking cover while he's doing that, so he gets like 3 dots in cover and conceal. So 2 in agility, and let's just say 3 in cover and conceal. He gets to roll 5 dice against the same target number. Whoever gets more successes on that wins. So obviously you want to have more dice, because you're going to get more dice over the target number, more likely to succeed at a given task, especially if that task is contested. Firearms versus cover and concealment or dodge or tactical evade or whatever is obviously the most common one, at least in a firefight. There's also melee, swords, punches, kicks, computer hacking, locksmith versus security ops, stealth versus alertness. There's all driving versus driving if you're in a car chase or a car duel or something. There's all kinds of contested roles in the game. One of the things, I'm not really a vampire or a werewolf fan anymore, but one of the reasons I really still like about that base system is its flexibility and its adaptability to different situations. And your ratings are 1 through 5. If you can add 2 numbers that add up to to 5, basically if you can add 1 through 5 plus 1 through 5 and come up with a number between 2 and 10, you've got this game beat. It doesn't get into feats or levels or classes or trees or any of that other nonsense. No percentiles, none of that stuff. You don't need a calculator and a slide rule to play this game, folks. If you can add 2 numbers that usually are a number somewhere between 1 and 5, if you can add those 2 numbers together, you've got it. So here are some of our other characters. Here is one of the characters we're going to feature in today's game. So this is Jen's character that she's played many times. Clearly her skill levels are way above average, because she's played in, what was it, Jen? Something like 12 games? 12 6-hour games?
Every game we did, I did.
Yeah, so it was 5 in Syria, 2 in Venezuela, 1 in Japan, 1 in Indonesia. I can't remember how many there were. There were at least 9, at least 7 or 9.
Weren't there
9.
like 3, like near Kamchatka?
That was the one in Japan. That was in Hokkaido, just north of Hokkaido. I think we did that in 1.
That was a long game.
Well, they were all 6-hour sessions.
Yeah.
So there are players that have nearly 100 hours in this game already, and so we have some pretty powerful characters. Other characters here, and again, you can see they're all different because you get to pick what levels you want. You don't roll anything, and as you get XP, you get to put that XP where you want. You get to develop your character as you want. There's no dice rolling in any of this stuff. So we usually start off with a very quick mission, a map that kind of shows, where the mission's taking place. There's a little bit of background information. Then that kind of zooms into a certain operational area that we kind of see here. This is sort of like the campaign map. So this is like your big Forgotten Realms map. This shows you where Waterdeep is. This shows you where, all the other, crazy stuff is. It's basically the world map. And then, of course, this is like the campaign map for a given mission. This particular mission took us 30 hours, 5 sessions, 6 hours apiece. It's the longest one we've run so far. But this was our big Desert Eagles mission that we did in Syria last year.
Oof, that was a long one.
Yeah, I meant it for like 1, maybe 2 missions, and then our sessions, and at the end of the second session, they're like, well, I guess we're going to continue this. Okay, this is going to be the end one. Nope, we need a 4th one. Okay, this is going to be the end one. Nope, we need a 5th one. And finally, at the end of session 5, 30 hours later, we completed everything. We have a bunch of charts that drive a lot of our stuff. I know a lot of role-playing games are a lot of charts. This system, or I should say this spreadsheet that drives this system, handles a lot of this for us, and I'll show you what that means in just a second. So this is the basic this is the basic charts, how guns work, how different kinds of guns work, some of the other items you can buy. Almost every role-playing game has this kind of a chart somewhere in the back, like a big equipment list, and a quick turn sequence, and things of that nature. Not that big a deal. Again, the point of this system was to be, kind of simple. Where it starts to get a little not complicated, but where it starts to expand a little bit is when we get into vehicles. So we will have some vehicles in today's game, although again, not very much. This isn't supposed to be a tank-on-tank game. It's a role-playing game. Yeah, and then some more background information that pretty much just helps fill things in for the characters. Let's see here. There's usually orders for a given mission. That's kind of laid out so everyone knows exactly what the mission is. If you don't do the mission as a private military contractor, or if you exceed the mission, or if you violate rules of engagement, you ain't getting paid, because this is a business. You are not actually, again, you're not in the military. You work for a civilian contractor, or you are a civilian contractor working for a civilian quote-unquote consulting firm. So, long story short, take your first shot. You screw up, you don't get paid, and that ain't good, because guess what? They're not buying all your shit, or handling your medical care, or anything like that. Okay, but yeah, we pretty much run everything virtually. We even had a dungeon crawl at one point, because why not? Every role-playing game needs a dungeon crawl sooner or later. But yeah, that's pretty much how the system works, or at least an overview of the system. Let me check out Mr. Chat, and we'll get started. Once I get back to the right page. Alrighty. Waterdeep in the Middle East. No, I'm comparing it to other popular role-playing systems like Forgotten Realms, or who knows, whatever. Okay, so what's going on here? Walkabout Games is with us.
brought up Mexico.
Oh wow, we got all kinds of people. Okay, hold on, catching up on the chat. Okay, Bugger Off has joined us. Mick, dude, I'm so glad to see you here. It's been a while since I've talked to you. Thanks very much for coming by our stream. I hope you saw this earlier, but what we're doing is some modern military role-playing. So everyone's played a wizard, everyone's had a sword, everyone's, taken on a dragon. Now you're going to pick up an M4 assault carbine, and instead of a dragon, you get to take on a T-90 battle tank. And you get to do it in a real world where there are no res spells, no health packs, no, +5 dragon scale armor. So it's a lot of fun. We've tried it. It's definitely different. It's not for everybody, but the people who have tried it seem to enjoy it. Cool. So let me get back to where we were. Okay, Walkabout Games. Thanks very much for coming out. Hi, J&J says Walkabout Games. I like that. We should brand that. I think Jim's gone for a pee break. I'm not sure what happened there.
No, later it clears up. He lost some sound, I guess. All it says is I had to refresh.
Oh, okay, cool. Rasmus, I know that guy. Yeah, we had your character up on the screen for a second there, Rasmus. No worries. Part of Rasmus's equipment list, by the way, is Bubblegum, his husky dog. Yeah, everybody's favorite NPC. Basically, it's a great big dog that has a pistol holster on him. Rasmus uses him as a pack mule. He has him carry all his shit for him. Because, no, I'm just kidding. Mexico as well, that's the one I was forgetting. Yeah, Mexico was at least 2, if not 3 sessions. So yeah, we've done at least 5 plus 3 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1. What was that? 5 plus 3 plus 11 sessions. If that's the case, there's 66 hours in this game, easy. If not more. I'm pretty sure there's more. Games built for Marines do so they can count on one hand. Oh, herb and herb. Okay, Tuffy, no worries. Oh, Limburger's joined us. Hello, Limburger. Thanks very much for coming by. Only got a lesser tank. Well, T90's pretty good. Bubblegum and Chocolate. No, Bubblegum is the name of his dog. Tuffy Ears. Sorry, not Tuffy Ears. Limburger. He actually had a little piece on the table and everything. He went around, biting Syrian terrorists and shit. It was great. Carrying, he had like a little harness, and then like sometimes like work dogs have, or like service dogs, and like I think he had a pistol on one side and a med pack on the other. So if ever Sirius, that's Rasmus's character, really got into trouble, Bubblegum would run up to him and with like a little bit of a pistol, a little bit of extra ammo, and a health pack, or not a health pack, like a first aid kit, to kind of stabilize his wounds for a second. Cool. So. Here we go with HK Ops. Hopefully I'm caught up on Mr. Chat, and hopefully everything is still stable. Alrighty, cool. So the first thing we're going to do super fast is make up a character. And we're going to show you just how fast it is to make up a character. Because guess who doesn't have a character in this game? Me. Because I always have to run the game. I never get to play in the game. Alright, so this is a blank character sheet, basically. You get 1 free box in all of your abilities. Sorry, all of your attributes. So everybody has at least some ability to walk, talk, breathe, walk around, do their thing. So everyone starts off with 1, basic dot. You can't have 0 in something, because if you have 0 in something, you literally are incapable of doing, anything that relies on an attribute. So attributes are like attributes in almost any other role-playing game. And then skills follow from that. So, character creation. Characters start with 1 free box in each attribute. Find 6 more boxes among your tactical, 6 more among your street. Okay, the reason I have tactical attributes and street attributes, tactical skills and street skills, whenever you get XP in this game, say you get 6 XP in this game for a session. It's usually 1 XP per hour. Plus, if you do anything extra cool, maybe you'll get an extra XP or 2, so maybe 8. Let's say you get 8. You play in a nice big session, you do some cool stuff, you end up with 8 XP. You don't get 8 XP. You get 4 XP to spend in tactical and 4 XP to spend in street. This prevents people from just jacking up stupid brick skills like dexterity and firearms until they have 6 in each or 7 in each. And they can't spell, they can't drive a car, they can't open a laptop, they can't read a book, they can't hold down a job at McDonald's. But they can deadeye somebody from 2 zip codes away. That's not a realistic character. We don't like brick characters. We don't like people who min-max the game. So the game literally prevents you from doing that by dividing all your XP into 2 pools, and then you get half your XP in each pool. If there's any rounding errors, then it goes into tactical. Tactical gets the benefit. But right now I get to put just for basics attributes. So here's my guy. Some basic information here. He's the leader of a new X-Team. X-Team is a slang / abbreviation for escalation team. Whenever Phalanx Multinational LLC, that's the name of our fictional private military contracting firm. Whenever Phalanx Multinational Consultants says, hey, this situation needs to be escalated, they send in an escalation team. So back in the day, we used to play with X-Team 619. That was the 6th team, founded in fiscal year 2019. We finally got to the point where we became a tier 2 team, which means that we get a code name, but we never picked a code name. So if this game ever gets picked up again, seriously, we'll pick out a code name. But right now, my guy is the leader. He's a rank 3 consultant, C3. However, he is the leader of a brand new boot of cherries. A brand new boot team of cherries. Second team founded in fiscal year 2020. So here we go. For the moment, I'm going to go ahead and say my guy's not very strong. So I do want high dexterity. I do want pretty high stamina. And I do want pretty high, that's 1 point too many. Okay, you know what? I'm going to take back that dot in stamina. So I get to add 6 dots on top of the dots that I already have selected. 1, 2, 3, or I should say squares. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Sorry. So those are my attributes. That was super fast. Over here to street attributes. Okay, my guy's not very charming. He's not. First of all, this is largely based on me. Former Marine, works as in the tech civilian sector now. Dark hair, dark eyes, and a light beard. Okay, hello. It's the glorious version of a Ariskany that never exists. So not very charming, not very witty, pretty perceptive, pretty highly educated. I get to put 6 dots in this block as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let me go for a well-rounded character. Not the most interesting, but he's well-rounded. Okay, now we go down to skills. Each skill obviously is a line. Skills come in schools. Firearms school. This is everything you learn in the firearms school. Support school. This is everything you learn in the support school. These skills are blocked, or I should say are grouped together into blocks of skills. Sorry, these skills are blocked together into schools, which are basically just like, groups of skills, interrelated skills. The first dot is the one in green, in this light khaki green. Okay, if you have a military background, like at all, you went to boot camp, you were in boot camp for 6 days, who cares? You have some basic abilities. Almost everybody knows how to shoot a pistol. Everyone knows how to throw a punch. They may not be very good at it, but if you had a kid brother when you were growing up, you know how to throw a punch. Tactics. Don't run out in the open. Put the bullets in the bad guy. Everyone has the basics of tactics. 4-wheel vehicle. Everyone has a friggin', everyone knows how to drive. Grenade. If you can throw a rock, you can throw a grenade. Camouflage. Okay, maybe helicopter's a bit of a stretch, but I should probably change that. But it's, yeah.
You did. Didn't you change it to drone?
I think you're right.
Everybody had one dot in drone because it's basically a remote control car.
Well, that and drones are becoming pretty damn, oops, that's the wrong color. Not that it really matters. Yeah, drones are becoming kind of ubiquitous nowadays. Alright, cool. Yeah, that's better. Not everyone knows how to fly a helicopter. Okay, so those are the base skills. Note there was no base skill in support, but you get to pick one. So I put it in rocket. Basically, you went to Marine Corps boot camp, you picked up some skills in something. Or MCT, School of Infantry, AIT if you're in the Army, who knows what they call it. You pretty much, you get one basic skill in each, one box and a free skill in each, in each school. Same with your civilian skills, or with your street abilities. So these are all your street skills. Okay, these are not pre-assigned, but you get to pick one free dot, or I keep saying dot, one free box in each school. So my guy's kind of a computer guy. So he has one basic dot on the internet. He has social observe. He knows computers. He speaks Spanish. He knows how to run a base camp. He knows how to walk around the street without being, don't walk into traffic. He has a little bit of history and politics. Surprise, surprise. And he knows how to, bandage up a wound. So again, this is the basic stuff that you get for not being an idiot. Now we're actually going to apply some skills. So how many skills do you get to put? Well, you get to put 15 more in tactical skills and 15 more in street. Again, you build the character however you want. My guy is good with rifle, so that's 1, 2.
I was going to say, does it cost anything, or is it just, I don't remember it so long ago.
It's 15 just base until you get into the light blue and the dark blue. These
That's
are
right.
higher level, and they start to jack up. They start to tear up. But almost nobody starts off with that. I'll put one more dot in rocket. One more dot in grenade launcher.
He's got a rocket in him, sir.
He's got a rocket in him, sure. My guy is not very good at brawl. He's not a big fighter guy. I am a leader, so I am gonna have to put like 3 dots in leadership. A little bit of tactics, a little bit of comm, a little bit. Oh yeah, so I'm gonna add that up a little bit. Don't need to drive a motorcycle, tracked vehicle, boating. Who cares?
I've got all that.
Helicopter, turboprop, drone, jet. No, okay, so I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I get to put 4 more skills. Ooh, what am I doing? I totally forgot about these guys. These are very important. Cover, conceal, and tactical evade. Hold on, let me start over.
Oh, heck yeah.
Yeah, you need at least some dots on that. Trust me. Sorry, I forgot about
Duck
that.
when they start shooting.
Alright, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and I'm done. Because you get 15 dots. Okay, I'll go ahead and take that. Alright, 15 more dots in my street skills. My guy's in the underworld. Except not really. Government, financials, couple more in... I'll put 1 in international. So the bottom blue skill in each school is advanced. You are allowed to buy stuff in advanced. It just costs a little more with XP, not with beginning characters dots. And it's never allowed to be the highest skill in your school because it's a specialized ability. So I've got 2 dots in internet investigation, so I'm allowed to have 1 dot in international investigation. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I got sent to the Middle East, so I'll put 1 dot in Farsi or whatever. It's a character based on a risk in the. I'm going to put more dots in history and politics.
No.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm sure I'm missing something. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I'll make myself a computer whiz. Each skill is, you cannot start off with more dots in a single skill. Okay, you cannot start off with more than 3 boxes in a single skill, so that's illegal. Alright, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. There we go. Just to wrap things up. I don't want this part to take a long time. Alright, so that's a beginning character. Oh, actually, no, not quite. Okay, now we go to personal profile. Now we go to... okay, hold on. Personal profile. Personnel file is what I meant to say. Sorry about that. Personnel profile. I get to put 6 total points in personnel profile. These are backgrounds. So I've got some money. I have like a 1-bedroom apartment. I have some more buddies and friends. I do have 3, because I said I'm a rank 3, so I have to put 3 dots in rank and status. 1, 2, 3, and I have a networking contact. I have some people I can call in IT, who then ignore me, because they're IT. Alright, cool. Those are my 6 dots in personnel profile. Or personal file, I keep saying it. I should say personnel.
They don't ignore you. They tell you to shut down and reboot.
There you go. Have you tried to shut down your computer and reboot? Yes, I've tried that 4 times before I called you. Why do you think I'm calling you? Alright, now this, for lack of a better word, this is, again, shamelessly stolen from White Wolf and other good games, where they had, like, conscience, humanity, willpower, stuff like that. This is your character's soul, for lack of a better term. I know that sounds weird, but this is like your willpower to just friggin' tough your way through some tough problems. Pain, dehydration, starvation, torture, different things that you're going to have to put up with in the world of HK Ops. Conscience. Are you a monster, or are you, are you a reasonably decently adjusted human being? Are you a sociopath? Sanity, have you completely lost your marbles? Do you suffer from, insane levels of PTSD? Um, this does get ground down in the course of HK Ops. HK Ops will have your character see things and do things. Again, this game tries to be a little realistic. You have to. The F-18 has already dropped the Mark 82 bomb, the laser-guided bomb. Oh, the target happens to be right behind a school bus full of kids. You just saw that. You just lost a couple sanity points, a couple conscience points, who knows what happens. Modern War is not pretty, and you do see some next level stuff. You can of course work to sort of build that back up again with XP between missions only. This is like you going to counseling and you getting some sort of mental health assistance to kind of help you sort of build these defenses back up, but they are constantly being eroded by the kind of stuff that you see. Some of them can also be spent. You can also spend grit points during the game to get automatic successes on really important rolls. So, real
Grit
quick.
is important.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, Jen, thank you. So I get a grand total of 15 points in grit, sanity, and conscience. So basically, are you tough but crazy? Are you well-adjusted but weak? Are you some weird combination therein? I get to put 15 total points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. This is just you sort of prioritizing for your character. My guy is tough. He kind of gives a shit when it comes to human life, or inflicting pain on other people, or betraying his team members, or doing any of the crazy things he's going to have to do. But where he's really starting to suffer, he's starting to lose it, because maybe he's seen a little bit too much. So sanity is definitely his lowest. He's still really tough though. He's still pretty tough, and when it comes to his morals, he's basically got his compass pointing north. Although it does wobble a little. Again, he's only got, 5? He's only got 5 out of 10. It's not great. Okay, so all we gotta do now is equip him. And oh my god, character equipment, that takes forever. Not really. So, let's see here. This is all with drop-downs and VLOOKUPs here, and so I'm just gonna basically pick what kind of weapon my guy has as his primary thing. I'm gonna go with a small assault rifle. And notice all that automatically populates. Ammo, accuracy rating, range of the weapon. I'm sorry, that's damage of the weapon. That is rating of the accuracy, and that's the weight. I get a certain amount of weight points I can carry at any given time. I do want to carry a grenade launcher. Please tell me that's in here. Grenade launcher attached. Sweet. I do want to carry some armor. So this list is always getting added to. As you can see, we've got lots of weapons here. Hopefully this text isn't too small. You guys can... You know what? Let me zoom in a little bit. So as you can see, all you got to do is click on the area that you want to add, the equipment slot, and it gives you a complete menu of the items that we have so far. Of course, the obvious stuff, it goes all the way down to toolkit, drone kit, binoculars, laptops. In fact, I'm going to need a laptop, aren't I? Going to need a laptop. Because my guy is into that stuff, and now just some armor, and I think I got to cool it. I'm going to be full here in a minute. Armor. I need some armor.
You could probably use some armor.
There are bullets flying around. You have to have some body armor. Okay, so that gives me a grand total of... That is totally not true. It's telling me the sum is 6. I wish it was 6. It's 11. I hope I didn't go over on that. So, I think I might have. Carry. Add up all tactical attributes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh no, I'm carrying too much stuff. Alright. I'm going to have to drop the laptop for now. I'll leave the laptop in the truck. That means I can now carry 1 point worth of stuff. Is there anything in here that's even 1 point and even kind of worth it?
What about
first aid kit?
Grenades? First aid kit.
I've got a grenade launcher. So the grenade launcher, I mean, whenever you pick up a weapon, the bullets come with it, you know. We don't get super complicated. Also notice the weapon equipment list does not say M4 assault carbine with slide rails for night vision sight, for telescopic sight, for extended magazine, for forward pistol grip, for you know, no. Assault rifle small, that's 5.56. Assault rifle medium, 30 caliber. Assault rifle large, that's some either assault shotgun or 50 cal or who knows what. Assault carbine. That's what I did wrong. Cool, I can carry my laptop. I picked the wrong thing.
You picked Rasmus's gun.
No, I picked assault rifle, like a full M16A2. What I wanted was an M4. All right, where's my... laptop?
Limburger suggested a knife.
If the enemy gets close enough to a knife, I'm already dead. Also, I mean, good idea, Limburger. The problem is, I have no dots in melee. If I pull the knife on somebody, I'd probably stab myself before I stab the enemy.
James Cutt says you don't need a grenade launcher, just throw the laptop.
Throw the laptop. It's an old laptop. It's very heavy. If I hit you with
Your
this
old laptop could kill someone, absolutely.
My actual Windows 7 laptop, which yes, I still use. I'm not using it right now, but my old laptop, if I threw it at somebody, would cause cranial damage. Absolutely true. In all seriousness, yeah, I've got sword. If you want to play blade, who knows? Small, large, club. Yeah, I give people choices. Everybody pick what you want. I do have tactical comm. Tactical comm weighs 0. There are some things in here that weigh 0. We just put them in here to make sure that we, basically that's my little throat mic and my little earpiece. And that gets me to 2 points, 2 points, 1 point, and 5 points. Now this is a beginning character. Most characters can carry a lot more stuff. In fact, if we go to Templars, that's Novus Templar's character, he's got 21 experience points. 21 experience points plus 19. He's got a grand total of 40 points. That's how many points his group has earned. I'm not going to give my guy 20 experience points. I'm just going to give him a very small amount. I'll say like 6 here and 6 here, just so we can show very quickly how the experience point system works. Also, I'm going into combat alongside Taki, who is a fully kitted out 40 experience point character. I'm going to have 12. Just so that I'm not like a complete level 1 boot next to a level 10, thief ranger kind of a character. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to say, hey, look, I'm going to spend some experience points. So I have 6 experience points in my tactical abilities.
If you were going to be on Taki's team, I'd say don't waste it too much in vehicles, because that's her forte.
Oh, absolutely. But number 2,
vehicle
also
and pilot.
Number 2, I'm not technically on your team. I lead my own team.
Ah, true.
But I know what you mean. So experience points. Attributes cost new rating times 2. Skills, new rating times 4. So where am I weak? New rating. So the rating 1, rating 2, I want to buy a new dot. Or I keep saying dot. I want to buy a new box in, say, stamina. My guy has bad cardio. I want to go run for a while and spend some experience points to jack up my stamina. I just bought a 3rd box in stamina. New rating times 2. It's a rating 3 box I just bought. Times 2 is 6. That cost me all 6 of my experience points. The good news is I now have 11 dots in tactical attributes. I can now carry 11 waypoints. Which means I can pick up that first aid kit again. You don't want to be without a first aid kit in this game. First aid kit weighs 1 weight point. You add all that together, you get 11 points, I think. I hope. 6 and 5 is 11, yes. And again, all the scores and values for that system automatically come out. I have 6 more points in street attributes. I can't put it in any more military stuff. I already spent all my time running around the O course back on base. So now I'm going to buy some more street stuff. To buy a blue thing costs additional, plus that would be a level 4, so that would be 8 plus 1. I think to buy the first dot in a light blue is 9 experience points. I don't have that many, so I can't buy that. I already have some basic language skills. Skills are a little bit less expensive. Skills are basically new rating times 1. So let me look that up to make sure. Skills, new rating plus 1. A light blue skill, however, because it's like, once you get up past the advanced stuff, it starts to cost a little bit more. Does not have a choose one. Addition to number 1 of 5. Last skill is advanced blue. Light blue is plus 1 XP. Okay, ratings. Okay, cool. So the light rating costs 1. So if I want to buy a 4th dot in computer, just because that's what my character's into, it's going to be the 4th dot, the 4th box in a skill, 4 times 1 for skills. Again, new rating times 1 for skills, new rating times 2 for attributes. New rating times 1 for a new skill is going to be 4, obviously times 1 is 4, plus 1 because it's in this light blue. It's now considered an advanced skill. Once it gets into the very advanced area, the darker blue, it's double. So this costs 1, that costs 2, that costs 3, that costs 5, this costs 6, this costs 12. Because now, once you get into that right hand darker blue, medium blue bar, you are one of the top 10 people on the planet. This game kind of has a hockey stick as far as the point costs, and also like what you're able to do. Once you like 6 dots in computer is you almost have like a matrix jack in the back of your neck. I mean, you just plug in and you're there. I'm of course nowhere near that, but I will spend 5 points on that. And I want to be able to lie to people, because it's always fun to lie to people. I don't know, I'm just picking out stuff. I spend my last XP, because again, that 4th dot in computer cost me 5. The first dot in the first box in deception, new rating times 1, is going to cost me 1, because it's 1 times 1. So now both my experience point pools are spent. That's how you get experience points. That's how you spend it. Again, there are no levels in this game. There are no trees. There are no career paths. It's all up to you. Now, you do have a budget, obviously, and the more you play and the better you do, the higher your budget is. But you do get a budget, and within that budget, you're able to spend and craft your character as you see fit, not as the game sees fit. This is a lost art in today's role-playing games. I'm sure there are still games out there like this, but they're becoming fewer and further between. This is the game that you don't just gain thousands of experience points till you hit a magical level 15 and a new feat unlocks out of a table that somebody published. There are no levels, there are no feats, everything is just, it's up to you. Again, within the constraints of what you're able to carry. Or, how many points you have. Actions. Dexterity plus agility divided by 2, round up. Dexterity plus agility. Okay, I have 3 actions a turn. Dexterity plus agility divide by 2. That's basically how many actions I get per turn. And initiative is the last thing to do. Wits plus sensibility plus tactics. I'm going to put 1 dot in tactics. Ugh. Wits, sensibility plus tactics. My initiative is 4. That is these 3 boxes plus this box. That determines what order I go in a combat turn.
Oh, we're both same for me.
Well, honestly, you're like a vehicle technician. I'm a computer technician. Neither of us are hardcore, like grunts. I mean, we're not Green Beret, Special Forces, SAS. I mean, you were in special South African, right? Let's go to your character real quick. You were in special tactics and rescue in South Africa, right? You're actually a policewoman.
Yes.
Believe.
But I started training, I was a police officer, but then they discovered that I could keep their vehicles running. So rather than going out into the field, I went into their vehicles.
Yeah, so support personnel in the police department, albeit the elite branch of the police department. And South African police are no joke either. They have to deal with some pretty heavy shit down there. And meanwhile, I'm also a support person in the U.S. Marine Corps. Again, kind of a heavy environment, but at the same time support echelon. So neither of us are exactly tier 1 as far as HK Ops characters go. I mean, we've got characters who were, former Green Berets, their dad was an SAS, their mother was a Navy SEAL, or who knows what, and, they joined Special Delta Force when they were 3, and, they've been in it ever since. Never mind Osama bin Laden, they killed the guy who Osama bin Laden worked for that you've never heard of. So yeah, those are some badass characters. But again, they're probably not too strong in a lot of these areas, but they're really strong over here. But no worries. So that's how a character works, guys. It's pretty simple. I'm gonna grab these 2 tabs and I'm gonna move them over here so that we have a clear idea what's going on, and then I'm gonna catch up on Mr. Chat. Okay. Okay, so Rasmus says, I can't recall which tank it was we fought. It was the Syria that Sirius got to kill. Yeah, that was a T-90. I totally remember. That was the climactic episode of the Desert Eagles storyline that we did. Blockchain. He better know internet and computers. Absolutely, that is his call sign. Good eyes, by the way. I totally forgot to mention that. That is his call sign, Blockchain. He did some work in database management. Outstanding eyes there, Limburger. Limburger always keeps me on my toes. By the way, Limburger, on that helicopter shoot down rule last week, you were totally right. I'm gonna have to go back and fix that. A consultant had better be charming, not this consultant. Okay, rockets are definitely fun, says Rasmus. Yeah, Rasmus has had some fun with rocket launchers. Tell it to the sniper. Nice. Dennis Cross has joined us over on YouTube. Hello, Dennis Cross. Thanks for coming out. Yeah, I love this game. Oh, yeah, Dennis Cross. We have his character here. In fact, we were just looking at it. This is Mr. Templar, who, a mysterious character with some connections that we don't quite fully understand. Not only with our group that's located near Alexandria, near Washington, D.C., but also with the Mossad and Israeli intelligence. We have no idea what's really going on there, but he tends to disappear for a while. And he comes back, he has a couple new scars, a couple new girlfriends, and we have no idea what happened, but we just leave that alone for now. Cool. Thanks very much for coming out, Dennis Cross. Okay, so let's see. Did Genesis do something similar to this? Okay, Dutch, awesome. Yeah, I'm sure there are some games out there like this. White Wolf was the first big one that I had seen done it to this degree. And again, this is back in 1991. I was also stationed in the Marine Corps at the time near Stone Mountain, Georgia, where White Wolf got its start. This is back when it was with the original owners. And it was a very, very different company. Kind of sad what's happened to it in more recent years, but I don't want to get negative. Yeah, White Wolf really did, at least in my opinion, kind of change the way a lot of role-playing games tend to work. A lot more freedom in how you build and develop your character going forward. Obviously, the system is very simple. It's very intuitive, which gets on some people's nerves. However, I don't care how many feet of rope you're carrying. I don't care if you have elven boots of jumping, +3 or +2. I want to tell a story, and in order to free up the table, so to speak, for more storytelling, you have to kind of cut down on the numbers a little bit. So this game does that, and again, I'm standing on the shoulders of giants as far as this game goes, to be absolutely positive. Rasmus adds, Indonesia was very hard on those stats. Yeah, we're talking about grid conscious insanity. There were some.
Let a village burn.
There were some very tough decisions. There were some very tough decisions. The Venezuela mission too, failed paradise. As far as which target you went after or which target you didn't. That was drug cartels versus communists versus socialists versus the people trying to put a different president in power versus the company, Phalanx multinational consultants, was asking you to support. There were some tough decisions to make there as well. But I think Rasmus is right. I think Indonesia was the worst. That's what happens when you work for an oil company. Cool character design sheet. Thanks very much, Limburger. Definitely appreciate it. Okay, now I'm finally starting to catch up. You don't need the grenade launcher, just throw the laptop. Yeah, Rasmus, my gun is the sniper rifle large. Absolutely, that's a big. I can't remember exactly what gun it is. I think we had to pick that. It's like a Macmillan 50 or something, or a Barrett 107, or a Barrett 82. I can't remember. Two-handed sword and a full plate of armor. You could technically do it. Um, Tough ears. You could technically do it. Again, there is a sword in here if you want to carry like a samurai sword. It is light, and it does some kick-ass damage in melee. Make sure you guys can see that. So there is sword. It does weigh 3, which isn't great. However, it does +4 damage. That's pretty awesome. And you can get EOD armor, explosive ordnance disposal. So if you've ever seen the Hurt Locker, you can basically get what the modern equivalent of plate mail armor is, like a full suit. You won't be moving very fast, but you'll look kind of funny. So maybe the enemy will laugh. No, but in all seriousness, EOD armor is damn near. You're basically a walking vehicle at that point. And if you can get close enough, yeah, the sword will definitely do some damage. Not a conventional choice, but again, the game is trying to give people choices. Don't forget the bagpipes. Oh no, bagpipes. I do not have bagpipes on my list. I'll have to add that. I dislike D&D style of levels and classes too. Look at Ajax or Sirius. Yeah, we were talking about hardcore. I don't want to say brick, but lifetime combat veterans kind of characters. The improvised rule worked better for the game too. Improvised rule worked better for the game too. Oh, okay. We're talking about the helicopter thing. Not really, because yeah. Also, it just. I mean, I get what Bill was saying about maybe a bullet hit the pilot or something like that. Well, yeah. The problem is once you get to the vehicle damage table in Sitrep skirmish, a 10 just insta-kills the vehicle. Okay, it's whether or not you get to even have a chance to roll a 10. And a small arms on that chart does say D6, so you can't roll a 10, and it really should be like that. Number one, if you hit a pilot, hey, there's a co-pilot. If you hit the co-pilot, there's a crew chief. The crew chief can at least try to either land the bird or something like that. So you'd have to get like multiple 10s to really get what happened there. Also, that fire pool was a total of 10d6, and I'm going to get 1 hit out of 3. So out of 10d6, I'm going to get 3 hits, and out of 3 hits, I'm going to get a 10 1 time out of 3. So basically, whenever a Black Hawk flies over a bunch of Colombian yahoos, not guys with RPKs, not guys with RPGs, not guys with Dushkas or anything like that, AK-47s and pistols. You fly over guys with 5 guys with AK-47s and pistols, and you're going to be shot down 1 time out of 3. That was a blatant mistake on my part, and I do apologize to the community for that, and especially Bill. Working on my French line as I watch. Okay, this is your Napoleonics Tough Ears you were talking about. Tough Ears was saying that started a historical project, and that historical project was Napoleonics. My only answer to that is, Tuffy, it was nice knowing you. You have now vanished down a rabbit hole from which a few people ever emerge, whole or sane. Because, yeah, man, Napoleonics is no joke.
Okay, Johnson, I know this is horrible timing, but I need to step away for just 1 minute. I'll be right back.
No worries. I'm just catching up on chat and talking with the community. Alrighty, so again, we've already gone through some of the basic stuff. We're not going to play a full game here, obviously. We are just, going to go through a couple turns. We've already been up for an hour. This is going to be a quick stream. I know there's a lot going on with UK Games Expo. I'm sure it's over by now, because it's like 8 o'clock over there. But again, we're just, we're making sure that we don't miss a Sunday. So this was the battle map that we used for a previous session. We're going to go ahead and reuse it today. Again, we're just going to run through a turn or two, just to kind of show how the game works. Obviously, this was a full party come here to fight this stuff. In fact, we had multiple parties. We had I wonder if I have that chart up here. Yeah. So these were our guys. This was my NPC, Miss Knight. Do I have Miss Knight up here somewhere? Where is Miss Knight? Phalanx. Yeah, that was Miss Knight. That was basically our team's boss. This was our case manager. This was our case officer. This was our logistics and backup person. So Miss Knight, before she could get promoted, had to go out in the field.
We covered her butt a time or two.
She also saved your ass, totally against that tank, but that's okay.
Fine.
That was literally why she was there. She was combat inexperienced. They sent her out to get some combat experience. I mean, she's easy on the eyes, but she doesn't look exactly like a combat character. She was much more of an administrator. In order to get promoted basically to her boss's job, she had to get some dirt under her fingernails. So they actually attached her to our group as an advisor. So that's her. Then we have Rasmus's character, Brun's character, Jen's character, Novus Templar's character, Dennis's character, I should say. And then we had, actually, Bill played with us one time or two times. And we had Ash play with us a couple. Yeah, in fact, that's Ash's character. We see Bubblegum, that is that is Rasmus's dog NPC that he brings with him in some missions. And then we had two other whole groups. So this was
Novus Templar.
X-Team.
Sorry.
Yep. Yeah, he's been on YouTube. So this is our Novus. Now I got me confused. This was X-Team Sigma, and this was the new group 220. So obviously we see Eric Mathis here. I'm basically promoting him from NPC to PC. He's now actually going to be a character, and this was his group. So we hit this base with, what was that, like 13 people? Actually more than that. 14 people. I think 2 people were dead by now. Don Wilson, I think. Jen, did you kill him or did you just get him killed?
No, I capped him.
You actually did kill him?
Yeah.
Why did you do that?
I don't remember. I remember he earned it.
What? Oh, yeah, I remember he deserved it. I don't remember what he did.
Oh no. Now I'm trying to remember.
Wasn't he stealing stuff and like selling it to ISIS or something like that?
Yeah, and during the middle of like an assault on the base, he tried to escape in one of our vehicles that we needed. And now I don't remember if I capped him or if the people assaulting killed him. I think I did it because we made a big deal about it, and I pulled up my character sheet, and I only had a 4 in conscience, and only a 4 in sanity, so it didn't really bother me that much.
If you kill a person on your crew, you're dropping a conscience point. I'll tell you that right now. Yeah, no worries. But so we didn't hit it with the full group. But if this table, I guess what I was aiming at here, if this map looks like overloaded with T-90 battle tank, rocket truck, technical, BMP, Jeep, and like dozens of guys. Another another CSU 23-2 anti-aircraft system over here. Yeah, it was. But again, we hit it very hard with a nice big chunky party of, again, leveled up characters too.
Oh, that was cool. That was the one where we literally did a dungeon crawl. We were underground going through tunnels. I remember that now.
We were talking about that.
It wasn't a literal dungeon crawl. It was a dungeon.
Yeah, there it is right there. So we had our base camp. Was this it?
There it is.
Yeah, so this is our base camp. You guys can see the contour lines. It was basically on this sort of promontory of a ridge line that kind of extends out here to the west. And then as we started to mess around in these buildings, we found some trapdoors that led down into a tunnel complex. You can see the shadows of the buildings. And then this was a dungeon crawl, and this dungeon crawl was all blacked out. You would only see like a little circle at a time. And the whole map started off black. And then as characters would sort of come down here, I would remove a little patch of black, and it would reveal itself almost like a video game. So it was a pretty realistic dungeon crawl. The booby traps down here were, claymore mines or trip flares. They were pretty scary. Probably scarier than the kind of booby trap that you see in a more traditional dungeon crawl. There are no spikes or traps or you fall into a pit or jets of acid. No, just an M18A1 Claymore anti-personnel mine that explodes in your face and kills. It vaporizes you and kills the 6 people behind you with directed plastic explosive and 780 ball-bearing sized BBs. So that's always fun. And then when we were done and we cleared this whole dungeon or tunnel complex, we placed our own mines. So to kind of cover our exits. So as you can see, there are numbers here. This is the number of successes that I think Dennis scored when Dennis and Brun were actually laying new mines to cover the entrances. So if ISIS terrorists or Syrian regular army tried to get into these exits, they would have to roll perception plus demolitions, and if they did not get at least that number of successes, 3 here, that one was pretty well hidden, that one was 4, this one was 4, then they tripped the mine and it blew up and it killed like 15 people. Again, HK Ops is a game that doesn't really pull any punches. So, going back to where we were. Yeah, this was our map. We did have an actual T-90 battle tank on the table. Yes, this turret does turn, because that's awesome. That way you know which way the gun is pointing. And that's important, because that tells you which way the crew is looking. And I think Rasmus scored the kill, although he had a hell of an assist from our girl, Miss Knight. She damn near sacrificed her life to distract that tank's attention long enough to... do these turn too? Yeah, these little anti-aircraft missiles turn here. And yeah, so on. So yeah, we're not going to take all this on today because, hello, we have 2 characters, not 15, and only 1 character is even decently leveled up. So the basic story behind today's mission is our 2 characters, Mr. Blockchain and Miss Taki. Oops, there's Blockchain and there's Taki. I should put Blockchain in here.
I'm just going to pause you for 1 second, James. Boys and girls, I just want to announce that before we start a game today, Jim said it's just going to be a short one. We're going to be done in about an hour.
It's only been an hour so far, and we're only going to play like 1 turn. So yeah, we're actually mostly done.
I'm just teasing because, you know, when Jim says it's going to be a short game, everyone has a different definition of that.
Okay, so the basic story behind today's, again, all this stuff was here, and holy crap, what happened? We were sent here, but our mission was not to attack this place and wipe it out, because, hello, only basic, I won't even say 2 characters, more like a character and a half. There's no way where we're going to, take all this out. So what's happening instead is blockchain. What the hell, Jim? Blockchain. Mr. Team leader here, Eric Mathis, is going to creep up to the ridgeline. He's going to scout it out, and then he's going to make a education plus comms check. I'm going to call in an airstrike.
Ooh, big bada boom.
1, 2, 3. So I have 3 dice in education. Again, looking up here. And 2 dice in communications. Total of 5 dice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is a very important roll because this airstrike has to come in. I'm going to spend a grit point. So you have to spend it before you make the roll. You can't say after you fail the roll, oh, can I have spent a grit point? Hell no. That's not how it works. You spend a grit point, you get back 1 grit point with every good night of sleep. So I basically already have 1 automatic success. And there's going to be 1 vehicle destroyed per success that I score here. Target number is 5, and I've got 1 success.
Roll well,
already.
because we have to attack whatever's left.
1, 2, 3, 4 successes. The 1 is not a success. So I've got 4 successes, plus the 1 that I spent with my grit point. So the airstrike came in, and because of I scored pretty well on that roll. I only got 1 failure out of 5 dice, and I spent a grit point. I got 5 successes. That kind of roll, guys, doesn't always happen. That was actually a pretty good roll. So with that good roll, I called in the airstrike accurately enough to where I actually destroyed most of what's already here. So go back to the battle map new. I get to destroy 5 vehicles. Guess which one the first one is. There's no way in hell I want to fight a T-90 battle tank today. T-90 battle tank, consider yourself smoked, fool. Alright, what else is going on? I don't want that Shilka up here. Let's see here. I don't want that. I have to take care of the rocket trucks first, to be honest. Unarmed Jeep, that's fine. Unarmed car, that's fine. All right, Taki, what do you think I should do? There's a anti-aircraft mount up here, and there's a BMP-2 over here.
Anti-aircraft.
You think you can take out that BMP by yourself? Oh, by the way, I should mention Jen is driving a JTLV vehicle.
I remember our JTLV.
Yeah, well, again, we're using the same thing. So let me zoom in a little bit. This JTLV...
Think I can? No. Want to? Yes.
This JTLV is mounted with a small 20mm automatic cannon in the turret.
Ooh, unfortunately, I have vehicle weapons. That was one of my XP points that I spent.
But I think when we used this vehicle before, it had a 50 cal in there. With this one, just for today's session, I jacked it up to a 20mm.
Even better.
That thing has a 30mm autocannon, and it's an actual tracked APC.
Okay, so now I just have to learn from my many years of movie knowledge, since I don't have the practical knowledge that so many of you have, and I learned from the wise oddball that all I have to do is get right up behind its engine in the back and shoot it from the rear, and I can blow it up.
Hello, Ben Johnson. Welcome to the stream. Thanks very much for joining us. Yeah, Ben, I'm not sure you were following our channel at the time because we haven't played this in a while, but we do have a modern military role-playing system that we have developed for the Sitrep Podcast, and we do play role-playing games with it once in a while. We were much more active in it in late 2019, early 2020, but we do still use it once in a while. You will recognize many of these rules, Ben. This is heavily based off of old school White Wolf. Although, obviously no supernatural stuff in it or anything like that. Alright, so Jen has chosen the... she feels confident. I mean, God bless her. She takes out from my 5th target the other anti-aircraft mount. Alright, cool. That means that BMP is still there. Alright, so we are now going to enter the table. Again, JTLV, and we have Blockchain, who's probably in the back, and I'm assuming you're driving?
Oh, yes.
Just say yes. You don't have to get weird about it. All right, I'm just kidding.
It's one of my few high-level skills. Whenever there's a chance to drive, please, yes.
Oh no, I moved the world. All right, cool. So that's everybody in the vehicle. Where do you want to enter in from?
Can you hold on? I'm looking at like 3 different maps because each screen is on a different time.
All right, I'll just give the lag a second to catch up, and there's what's left.
No, I just went to the Skype screen, so it's more direct. Okay, I just
While
lost
you
the
look,
BMP.
I will just
There
go
it
ahead
is.
and look and plan for a second because you're in charge. I'm helping with my character, but you're definitely in charge. I'll just catch up on the chat. So again, thanks very much, Ben, for coming out to our stream on YouTube. Let's see here. Napoleonics is a very big rabbit hole. James says he has not found the bottom yet. That's true. James Cutts is a big Napoleonics guy as well. This is the... forgive me if I'm getting you mixed up with somebody. James Cutts, you're working on the Prussians, right? I'm pretty sure. I hope I don't have you confused with somebody else. Rasmus says he has got to play some Blood and Plunder last night. I've seen the pictures you posted on our Discord, Rasmus. I just haven't had a chance to respond to them yet. But I did see that. That definitely looked awesome. James is asking how Blood and Plunder Kickstarter was going. Cool. Great fun first sea battle since the plague started. Oh yeah, the Great Plague. Novus Templar has jumped from YouTube over to Twitch. Any HK Ops is a good thing. Cool. Yeah, he stole stuff. We're talking about Don Wilson. Red killed him. I thought it's possible. We don't remember for sure. I know that Taki definitely wanted to kill him. May have helped, contributed to something. I can't remember the details. Hey, if you're really interested, you can go back to that video and watch. Red definitely killed a POW like right out of the helicopter. Jumped out of the Black Hawk, pulled the pistol, and just shot somebody in the face. That was Red's big debut in our group. I don't think Red has a very high conscience score, but that's okay. Yeah, he capped the POW, but I don't remember if he shot Don or used him as a bullet shield. I can't remember that. I know Don got killed. I know he deserved it. And I know the group was involved.
Well,
Go
Like I
ahead.
said, I don't remember if I actually killed Don or if something was happening, the attack started, and I like ducked under him or pulled him in front of me and got him shot. But I was instrumental in his death, if not directly firing. And I'm going to be coming in from the west. That way I can use those buildings and the elevation to sort of stay out of the BMP's, or rather the de-elevation, to stay out of the BMP's line of fire so I can try and get up on its rear, see if I can learn
From
from
the
the
west,
movies.
like from
Yes.
this side. Okay, you don't have a whole lot of. Yeah, you have some trees and you have this building you can use. Is that what you're talking about?
From the left side of the screen,
Yeah, this is the
where
left
that
side of
road
the
is in the
screen.
bridge. Yeah,
Yeah. So you have these trees and this building.
yeah.
I'm not sure how much you're going to get away with the elevation. This is two hills, northwest and southwest, and the BMP is on a low hill himself in the center of the table.
Yeah, I know. I was trying to come up underneath him so he didn't, like, doesn't have a good line of sight on me.
Okay, well, I would put more faith in the buildings or the trees. Definitely the building. The building is on elevation. It's on base elevation, elevation 0, and of course it blocks line of sight.
So I'll come in behind that building.
All right, cool. All right, and then we'll get started in earnest as soon as I finish up Mr. Chat. A perfectly scripted half hour, says Limburger, just like UHH. No, we never aimed for half an hour. I was aiming for like an hour, hour and a half. I don't think we're going to make an hour and a half, but we'll be done before 2 hours. Trust me. Because science teacher, you know that when Jim starts talking, it's hard to get him to stop. Oh my god. Okay, I'll stop talking. Knock it off with them negative vibes, says Tuffy Ears. Oh yeah, we're talking about yeah, some oddball lines getting
with
dropped.
the negative vibes. I will be righteous for a change.
Knock it off with them negative vibes. Rasmus says, I'd be up for taking Fred and Bubblegum out for a spin again. Certainly, that'd be cool. Not much in the photos, but this is what I did get. Did try to record a video, but technical issues. Yeah, video gaming is tough. I have a table. I still have my the table for the American Revolution set up that I had for July 4th. It's now August 1st. It's been there for a month. So I've been stuck on the end of turn 1 for a month. I haven't gone back to it because I keep thinking I should really record this. Man, that shit ain't easy. Around here we use the phase gym time. Short game 3 hours, standard game 6, big game all weekend. Short game for me is 2 hours. I see what you're saying, Dennis. A short game for me is 2 hours. A medium game is 3 to 4, and a long game is let's see. Valley of Tears. That in order to count, someone has to actually play with me live, and Damon played Valley of Tears with me October 6th, 1973. That took 7.5 hours in Panzerleader. And then Bruce Lee and Damon did half of Gold Beach in real time, in actual, like, not, here's my 20mm table of Gold Beach, isn't it nice? No, we did Gold Beach. We looked up what units were there, we rebuilt those units down to the platoon, and we landed a fucking brigade on Gold Beach, Jig Sector Gold Beach, as it happened. Building for building, meter by meter, we did the whole thing. That took 9.5 hours. For like the first 2 to 3 hours of actual battle time for half of Gold Beach. We wound up putting pretty much a full brigade against whatever was there, like a battalion of Germans. But those have been the biggest games that have been played on stream. At least in one go. If we want to get technical, Dennis, the longest game I've ever played on stream, you were there. Desert Eagles in HK Ops took 5 sessions, 6 hours a pop. That game legit took 30 hours, if you want to get serious about it. Let's see what else is going on here. Tuffy Ear says, if you ever need a body to play this RPG at a future date, I'm up for it. That's awesome. Yeah, we could do this again, guys. We did it pretty heavily back in the day, like last year. I mean, it's just the group kind of, I don't want to say fizzled out, but I was like, all right, I'll keep going if you guys, are serious about it. But you guys got to be serious about it, because running these games and preparing all this material is a crap ton of work. So if people say that we're interested in playing HK Ops and I put the month of work into it to get it going again, and then we play like 2 sessions, and then people quit again, I'm gonna take it personal. But I don't know. We can definitely figure that part out of it later. All right, so Limburger is getting impatient here. So let's go ahead and get going here. Okay, so initiative. So let's see. I'll start with initiative. We both have 4s, right, Jen?
Correct.
All right, cool. Guess what? So do the enemy.
Oh, lovely.
Well,
so
4
just a straight die roll.
4 is a pretty low score. So cool. I'll go ahead and roll I got a 6. What do you get, John? D10.
I got D10. Why did I think it was a D6?
Everything's a D10 in this game.
A 5.
Okay, now let's see what the enemy got. A 9. The enemy is going to go first. So they saw you coming. And here comes one group. Peekaboo. Group 2. Group 3. They were going to operate that 23mm. Now they're just going to run down the hill.
I'd rather have them than a 23mm. So.
Come down here. He catches the road. He starts to cross over the bridge. Let me see how far he gets. I'm going to roll the enemies. Agility plus tracked vehicle driver. 2 plus 2 equals 4 dice. He got 3 successes. Again, 6 is usually the target number. So he's going to get pretty good. He's going to cross this bridge safely, and now he's about to come around that corner. If he had gotten all 4 successes, he'd already be firing at you. Okay? So, that is enemy movement. The only guys that can see you so far is that team. I'm going to zoom in a little bit now. Is that team down there right around the corner.
So I'm going to send Bubblegum in as a distraction, and then we're going to have...
No, you can't do that.
Rasmus come in. No. Oh, wait, I don't have the rest of my team. It doesn't work.
Okay. So there's a lot going on here. All right. Those 3 guys really only have small arms, but you never know.
Can I do bowling for bad guys?
When it's your turn, unfortunately, you lost initiative. So 1, 2, 3, 4. No, 1, 2, and 1, 2. That's going to be 5 per guy. There's a total of 3 guys there. 1, 2, 3. All right. So, enemy number 1. Wait a minute. Yeah, enemy number 1. That is 1, 2, 3 successes. Count them with me. Enemy number 2. 1, 2, 3, 4 successes. That's 7. And that guy kind of shit the bed. Total of 8 successes. Okay, again, not the best chance to get through the JTLV's armor, because it's pretty much bulletproof. 8 chances. Because 8 total successes on all that firepower. Basically, 3 guys rolled around the corner and just blasted. And they're hoping to either, again, they're puncture-resistant tires, probably bulletproof glass, a lot of Kevlar in the doors. However, they might get lucky. They're going to have to get lucky, though. Seriously. They got lucky once. So basically, 3 guys came around the corner, and the game is to scale, so they're like 20 feet away. Point blank unloaded 30 rounds out of all their weapons. They got like three assault rifles, so 90 bullets. They're not going to miss at that range. It's just what gets through. And out of those 90 rounds, pretty much 1 got through. Alright, cool. So now we take that. Where am I at here? Vehicle table. 1d10 on this chart right here. Let's see what happens. I'll get the dice tray next to the chart so we can see both at once. What happens? 2. The driver's been hit. Oh no, Jen, you've been hit. Right off the bat. Normal person or injury is the effect. Okay, let's see what happens. Something got through. Either it hit the glass and then the glass chipped off and hit you in the armor, or something happened. So let's see how this happens. Again, demo, so we're going to sort of go through the motions here. It was a, let me go to the charts. This was a medium assault rifle, AK-47. So it does damage of +6. So he got one hit, so it's 1 + 6 equals a total of 7 dice of damage. What is your target to damage?
Okay, I'm looking at my sheet. It's my stamina, right?
Stamina +3.
Would be 6.
Yep, okay. So it depends on how good you are, how much, the tougher you are, the harder it is for your body to actually take a lot of damage. So the target number is a 6 because you have, solid but unremarkable stamina. Actually, yes. 1, 2, 3, 4 successes. That's 4 levels of damage. However, you get some saves because you are wearing body armor.
I am wearing body armor.
All right, body armor. The body armor you're wearing is body armor tactical. It gives you 3 save dice. I'm highlighting everything in the chart so everybody can kind of follow along. So you get 3 save dice. Target number is the damage of the weapon, which is 7.
Oof. That's not nice.
Might be a good time to spend a grid point. But I already heard the dice hit the tray, so guess what you don't get to do?
I know.
I know.
2 successes.
3
9,
successes?
7, and a 3. 2, 9, 7, and 3.
Oh, so 2 successes. Okay, so 2 of these damages points go away because of the body armor. Some of it got through the body armor and actually hit you. You are now down. Get rid of this damage. You are now down from bruised to light bleeding. Everything you do from now on is going to be a -1 off your dice pool.
Okay.
Because the wounds have effects. You got caught in the shoulder, and the whole front and side of your body armor is now slick with blood. But again, you're green, so you're fine. Once you get down into yellow, guys, bleeding becomes the thing. You lose an additional point per turn until you die. Once you get down into the red, you lose 2 levels, or you die until you die. And once you get into the black, you're killed. So, once you get down into the yellow, you're in trouble. Once you get down into the red, you're pretty much screwed. Unless there's somebody like right next to you with a first aid kit. So be careful. Again, for HK Ops will kill you. It's not it's not a very forgiving game. Okay, so that was enemy turn because nobody else really has line of sight on you yet. All right, so again, it's a role-playing game, so we do keep everything kind of light and fast. All right, now it's our turn. You want to go first?
Yes, we're going to do because this started everybody because Taki didn't really have a lot of combat skills, but she had a lot of driving skills, and the old thing that more people die in car accidents than by gunfire. So she decided to test that theory, and she developed her own game called Bowling for Bad Guys.
Oh no. Okay, Bowling for Bad Guys. So basically you're going to try to run over some of these fools.
Yes, I am.
Alright, so I'll just go ahead and group all this together for now.
I am declaring before anything, I'm spending a grit point.
Alright, cool. While you're doing that, let me lean out the window just so people can see how firearms combat works in a more conventional setting. So far we've only had vehicle combat, people shooting at people in vehicles. So my guy is kind of leaned out the window with his with his M4, a platform or whatever, and he's pretty much just going to try and shoot one of these guys as you're approaching him. So we're going to do my dexterity plus rifle, because I'm using my assault rifle. That is a total of 6 points. Now, there's my assault rifle. Some weapons are more accurate than others. My assault rifle has a 0 rating. You'll notice that that assault rifle I had before has a +1. This is an assault carbine. It's like 1 step above a submachine gun. Shorter barrel, lighter weight, so recoil is more of an issue. It's a slightly less accurate weapon. So I have a grand total of 6 dice. I have no bonuses. Because I have this little, Special Forces weed chopper looking thing.
But also no penalties. I remember there are some guns that actually give you a penalty.
Well, yeah, that's because like pistols and stuff like that. And that's because the range system in this game is very basic. So everything is kind of based off the assault rifle. Your odds of hitting something with a pistol at what is considered normal comfortable range for a light assault rifle is not good, hence the penalty. Alright, so I have 6 total dice. I'm going to spend another grit point, and I get 1 automatic success, and the target number is a 6. 1, 2, 3 successes, plus the one I got for my grit point. It's a total of 4 successes. Remember that number, because now the enemy gets a turn. The enemy saw me getting ready to shoot at him, and the enemy is now going to do its thing. Notice there isn't really a single skill you can use for dodge, because what would happen in the game, everyone would have put all their dice into dodge, and everyone would turn into Neo from The Matrix, and that game
X plus dodge.
Yeah, that
I
game
have
would
a
get
few
very,
dots on that on some of my other sheets.
very basics. So, tactical evade. This is if you're moving. How you evade if you're moving. Cover and concealment. This is if you're sitting still and taking cover. Dodge. This is if you're trying to dodge something that is not a bullet. So those poor guys that are about to get run over by Taki's vehicle, that's what they're going to be using. They're going to be using dodge. Or in melee combat, if you're dodging a fist, a sword, a mace, an attack dog. I mean, everything but a bullet. When it comes to bullets, it comes down to these two. And it's pretty much if you're moving or if you're not moving are the two basics there. It's deliberately distributed so that there is not one single magic skill that you just dump all your experience points into and presto, you're now invincible. There is sort of a flip side to creating a role-playing game that gives people choices. And when you give people choices and you're not restrictive, or you don't govern those choices at all, they're going to choose what's best for their character, obviously. And before you know it, you're going to have a broken system. So they did move this turn. They have to use tactical evade. We'll say they have 1 dot in tactical evade, because they're, bad guys are typically, especially in role-playing games, bad guys tend to be slightly, lower tier than the good guys. So we'll give them 2 in agility, give them average agility, and give them 1 in tactical evade. We'll give them 2 in cover and conceal because they're ISIS terrorists. They're very good at hiding in fixed positions like caves, spider holes, stuff like that. So that's going to be 2 in agility and 1 in tactical evade. They're going to spend a grit point, we'll say, because they get grit points too. So they get 1 automatic success, but only 3 dice. And they get 1 success. 2 and a 3 are both failures. Plus the grit point. So now, going back to my score, I hit them worth, that was a different number, I hit them worth 4, they evaded worth 2. So those 2 evades take away 2 of my successes. I have 2 successes left. That's how accurately I hit them. So it's not just hit or miss, it's how accurately you hit them. Did I hit him in the left eye, or did I hit him in the belly or something like that, or the shoulder? Again, maybe out with 4 successes, that's a headshot. However, he was sort of dodging at the same time, so my headshot kind of turned into a shoulder shot. He didn't evade completely. He still got hit. I still got 2 successes. But it's not as bad as it could have been. Alright, my assault rifle, back over here to this, does damage plus 5. Obviously, a shot that hits more accurately does more damage than a grazing hit. So you add the damage code of the weapon, which in this case is 5 dice, to the existing margin by which you hit. If he hadn't dodged at all, it would have been this much damage, and he would have been really dead. But as of now, he partially dodged, 2 net successes to hit, 5 on damage. You cannot spend grit points on bullet damage, because the bullets don't care how much you want them, they're just pieces of metal. I got a grand total of 7 dice. Against his stamina of 2 plus 3 is 5. He has no body armor. 1, 2, 3, 4 successes. So that guy is now down to broken bone, -2. And he's now in the yellow, which means he's going to be losing an additional point, an additional level of damage per turn until he either gets stabilized via a successful first aid check, as the wounds check up here, or he actually expires. But right now he is at -4 hits. And that was the simple and quick way. Let me get through this, Jen, of how an actual damage, how an actual firearms check longhand actually works. When NPCs start shooting at each other, we don't go through all that. We just kind of dice it out super fast. But when it's player characters, or especially when player characters are taking damage, yeah, you go through all the motions. I'm sorry, Jen, go ahead.
No, I was just trying to remember, is all fire simultaneous?
No.
So does that negative whatever take place after my action?
That literally defeats the purpose of the initiative roll. You take 1 point off.
All right.
Okay.
No, I knew for me. I was just wondering for him, since we're both attacking them at the same time.
Oh, he's technically being attacked by 2 player characters at the same time. No, I just had mine went first.
Okay.
I did kind of jump in line there, so that's actually a good. Okay, I get you. I understand your point.
Okay. So I am rolling. I'm assuming dexterity plus 4-wheeled vehicle.
No, it's agility. Hello, Piotr. How you doing? Welcome to the stream, Piotr. So the basic difference between dexterity and agility, I know it sounds like I'm splitting hairs there. This is an old Renegade Legions rule. Dexterity is hand-eye coordination. Dexterity is firearms, drawing, typing, anything where you're using hand-eye coordination, fine motor skills only. Agility is full body balance. So in a car, you're using your feet, you have pedals, you have to shift gears, you have to also drive, use your eyes. It's a full body operation. That's agility.
Okay. So I declared I'm spending a grit. That's already spent.
Yep,
I'm rolling 7 dice. 4 in vehicle, because I did spend the money to go up that high, and 3 for agility. And my target to bowl for bad guys?
If I don't say otherwise, it's a 6.
Alrighty.
I know it's been a while, but back when we used to play this, I said that 15 times a day for 20 days. If I don't say otherwise, it's a 6.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, plus the grit makes 6.
Okay, I'm pretty sure those guys are toast. So, there are 3 guys you're attacking at once. How about this? How many guys do you want to attack? With each guy you attack, you lose 1 success. Do you want to hit 1 guy for sure, or do you want to try to get all 3, which is much more difficult? You see where one of them has already been wounded.
Yeah.
Piotr says, I shouldn't be here since we were supposed to play Test Valor and Victory. Laugh out loud. Herb-a-derp. I never heard from you, Piotr. Although, to be perfectly fair, I think you said Thursday. Thursday was an absolute friggin' nightmare. So I was not good company on Thursday.
No, Thursday was bad.
It was last day of the quarter. We lost internet for a while. It was not the quarter of the month for business purposes, and it was a bad day. No worries.
I'm going to go for all 3.
Okay, so for each extra one, you're going for 2 extra targets. You lose 1 success, so your successes now went down to 4.
Okay.
However, that now applies against all three victims, all 3 targets. Yep. Okay, they're going to get their agility, which is 2, and their dodge, which is 2. 4 dice. They're all spending a grit point, so just add 1 success to this. The first guy, man, he like jumps over your car like what's his name? I'm totally spacing on his name. No, not Neo. He doesn't jump over a car. Who jumps over the stupid car? Morpheus in the Matrix.
Morpheus.
All right, cool. So yeah, he got 5 successes. He says, yeah, whatever. That was not the guy that was damaged. Here's the guy in front. Him, not so much. He only got 1 success, and again, he gets 1 for the grit point, so he gets a total of 2. And now the guy that's wounded, he gets 2 dice in agility and 2 dice in dodge, but oh my god, he also has a bullet in his head, or in his chest somewhere. So he is, again, down -4, just to show everybody how the math works. At -4 levels, 1, 2, 3, 4, you are at broken bone, -2. That -2 is a dice penalty for everything you do, as long as that wound penalty is in effect. So he does not get 4 dice. He gets only 2 dice. He does have a grit point. He gets 1 success. That was an 8, plus his grit point. So both the other guys, this guy dodged completely. He's like, whatever, you don't hit me. He's hiding in the store now. And now these 2 guys just got clobbered by your fender. Okay? Because you got 4 successes, they each got 2. That means you hit them each for 2. 2 minus 2, or 4 minus 2 is 2.
And that 4 successes did take one. I did take 1 away because of my -1.
You took one off your dice pool, not one off your successes, right?
Yeah, I took
Yeah.
one out of my dice pool,
Cool.
not one off my successes. I just
Because-
didn't say it, and I didn't want to think it got forgotten. I did remember.
Those are two different things, but
Yeah.
no worries. Cool. So that's a grand total of 2 net hits on both those guys. As far as the damage code of a JTLV hitting you in the head, I don't know. It's going to be a lot. Because they're basically getting run over by a several-ton vehicle. This is where in a real live game we usually just kind of declare them dead, because they're getting run over. But just for fun, let's see, light cannon round, 30 caliber round, vehicle penetration. Wait. Wrong chart. How much damage do you think we should count? Let's give them. Being hit with a truck is like being hit with a 50 caliber machine gun. Would you guys say that's a fair adjustment? A fair approximation? I need to come up with vehicle damage rules for running people over, especially if Taki's going to keep playing.
Especially if I'm going to keep playing. Blowing for bad guys will be a recurring
She
theme.
does this all the time. I actually should have a number for this. I say being run over by a several-ton armored vehicle is kind of like being hit by a 50 cal. So a 50 cal, I think we said was 20. That's a lot. This is where we basically, again, in a normal, if this game was actually happening and I was like trying to entertain people, I would say, yeah, he's pretty much dead. But again, just to go, oh, that's weight. Damage is plus 12. Okay, so number of successes plus 12. So that's going to be 14. All right, do you want to roll that? Do you have that many dice, or do you want me to do it?
Yeah, I've got that many dice.
Okay, give me 14 dice for both those characters, please. Target number is 5, because their stamina is 2, plus 3. That's your damage to, your target number to hit. They're wearing no body armor.
1 second, let me get 4 more dice. 11, 12,
This is where Jen rolls all
13,
the dice.
14.
This is what happens when you start throwing trucks at people.
Well, it's all I got. So. Target, you said, was a 5 or 7?
It's a 5, unless they
5.
have, 5 in stamina.
He did.
All right, well, tell me how
1,
many successes.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
All right, 10, he's dead. He's effectively really in trouble when it gets down to 8, because now he's in shock, he falls unconscious. At the end of the turn, he loses 2 levels because of bleed out damage. He becomes killed anyway, but you killed that first guy instantly.
Greesh.
Now, just for fun, if you want to roll the dice, go ahead. But the other guy, he's already at -4. He starts off here.
All right, let's see.
This is the guy I've already
Okay.
shot. He got shot and run over at the same time.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Not
He's-
quite as good a hit, but
Well,
8.
8 plus, he's already at 4. He's now at 12. He's like, yeah, I'm very dead.
Again, he did.
He's very toast.
Hey, they shot at me. Their fault.
Okay, so everyone is now taking a turn. Bad guys went first. Then you went, and now it's now the enemy's turn. So the enemy gets a second action. So let me go ahead and get started.
Do we roll initiative again?
Not until the beginning of a new turn.
Oh, okay.
You get a certain number of actions per turn. Basically, you get 2 actions. The enemy gets 2 actions
That's
a
right.
turn.
I forgot.
I believe we both get 3 actions a turn.
Yep. So our real damage is going to come at that third action.
That's if we survive. Because guess what
Yeah.
happens?
That BMP comes around the corner.
Holy shit, he's right behind us!
Though I would have thought when I ran them over, I drove a little further than just the edge of the building, at least around to the other side.
Oh, I did forget one very important thing. The blood splatters. Gotta have the blood splatters. Come on now, you have to have blood splatters because this game is nothing if not ghoulish.
Though I did run them over, there should definitely be blood splatters. Though only 2 of them, because the one guy Morpheus out of the way.
Oh, that's right. I forgot one guy actually survived. Damn, thank you.
I'm not trying to be too cheesy.
This guy, he's like ducked right back behind that door. Alright, I'm zoomed out way too much. You guys probably can't see what's going on here. Alright, so this guy kind of like sidestepped. He's kind of fell back into that doorway there. Taki is kind of blitz around that corner a little bit. Again, now you're kind of going uphill. You got to watch out for those trees too. So the BMP will have partial cover. Or I should say, compared to you, the BMP will be shooting against partial cover. But the BMP is going to go ahead and take a crack at you.
Yep.
What's this guy doing? This guy is going to fall back into the building with his movement. So that he has, again, he's got cover in the doorway there. But he still is going to want to, ooh, wrong map. How did I jump maps? He's still going to be firing. And again, I think I pretty much moved everybody else. Did I miss anybody? I did not move this guy yet. I don't think.
Yeah, the 2 other teams haven't taken their second action.
This guy has, this guy has, this guy has. I can tell by how far they've moved. This team's pretty much wiped out, and we did the BMP. Alright, cool. So now the BMP is going to go... They can't really shoot. They don't have line of sight on you yet. I don't... no, this guy doesn't. He goes through that little side of the little ridge there. This group, the line of sight goes through the car and the building. And no worries there. This guy, hell no, because of all the reasons. So right now, all I got to worry about is this fool in the doorway and this BMP just came cooking around the corner. Oh no! Alright. Vehicle chance to hit. This is where it gets serious. 30mm autocannon in that BMP. Chain or vehicle weapons. Range is very long. Rating is +2. He has to add 2 to his dice. Okay, so that is going to be 2. Then that's going to be his dexterity and his the guy's gonna have some training in the weapon, or else he wouldn't be behind it. 2 dice in the actual weapon. That other 2, that third 2, is the rating of the weapon. Weapons have different ratings. Some weapons are more accurate than others. So a total of 6 dice. Taki, get ready to roll the mother of all agility plus drives. That's basically you're dodging with your vehicle.
Crit point.
Okay. Add 2 to your die roll because I said you get partial cover. So add 2 to your die roll and add 1 automatic success.
4 and 3 dice make 7.
Yeah.
Add.
That's your actual ability and attribute?
Yep.
Okay.
I'm taking 1 dice off because I'm wounded, so that takes me down to 6 dice.
Thank you. I did forget about that. Add 2 dice for your partial cover.
Got it.
And add 1 success for your grit point.
Okay.
Alright. Meanwhile, the enemy has, again, 2 in dexterity, 2 in vehicle weapons, and a +2 rating for the accuracy of his weapon. He's also spending a grit point. There's a lot of grit points in this particular, because the whole game is only going to be 1 turn, so we're spending all the grit points. Normally, you have to be very careful with your grit points.
Before you roll, I'm declared I had 7 successes.
2, 3, 4, and then the grit point makes 5. He missed. You had 7 successes on 9 dice?
With the grit point.
Oh, with the grit point, okay.
I had 6, and then the grit point made it 7.
It's still a good roll.
It's an excellent roll.
Then again, the enemy also had a pretty good roll here, too. I mean, technically this was a grit point, but he got, 4 out of 6. Again, you're just better behind the vehicle, better with a vehicle than the BMP gunner is, which is not surprising. You're a Special Forces vehicle specialist. This guy is an ISIS terrorist who has a 40-year-old BMP he's clattering around the desert in. The damn BMP is probably older than he is. Okay, so that enemy did take a shot, and he missed. Now this guy is going to, you know what, just for fun, he's going to try to roll a grenade underneath the truck.
Oof.
So again, just to try out some new things and sort of wrap up the stream. Because again, we didn't want this one to go too long. So he's got to do anything, full body physical is agility, not dexterity. So it's going to be agility. We'll say he's got 2 in agility. And grenade, well, when it comes to throwing bombs, ISIS is pretty good. So we're going to give him 3 in grenade. Alright, so it's going to be a total of 5. Again, in a real game, I would probably have these NPCs made up in advance. We're kind of shooting from the hip here. Okay, now, Taki's already dodged, so there's not going to be a dodge here. with a grit point, got total 2 successes because he got a crap-tastic roll. Look at that. Fail, 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 success, grit point. Total of 2 successes. Okay, not that awesome.
Can't say I'm complaining about him getting a bad roll.
Yeah. And as far as getting hit, I'd rather get hit by a fragmentation grenade than get hit with a 30 caliber autocannon in the back. This JTLV was sort of designed specifically against explosions from underneath, IEDs, mines. That's the primary threat. RPGs, the primary threat that those vehicles are built against. Alright, so that weapon is going to explode. It is an anti-tank grenade, we'll say. No, it's not. It was like a fragmentation grenade. It's like a regular grenade. 30 or 40 millimeter. Okay, damage. Area of effect, short, medium, and... okay, never mind. Vehicle penetration of 3. Just for fun, let's say it was an anti-tank grenade. Vehicle penetration of 6. I'm just trying to show how the system works. He has an anti-tank grenade. He chucked it under your car. Rating was -1. I gotta take 1 off of that. They're less... anti-tank grenades are huge. So I'm actually going to take off 1 of those 2 successes. That's to account for this. However, the vehicle penetration is 6.
Oof.
What is your armor? Armor
Personal
on the vehicle.
armor?
No, vehicle
okay.
on the armor. Is
8776.
Underside is 6. It's right on the money. 6 penetration versus 6 armor. Not very likely, but it is possible. Basically, I get 1 dice. Do I get a 10? I get 1 dice only because I only scored 1 net success. If I had 3 or 4 dice, I'd need to roll a 10 on any of those. But as it is, I only want it with 1 net success. I need a 10. So, again, it was a very bad roll, and these JTLVs are specifically designed to protect occupants from explosions from underneath. So we'll see what happens. A 5. The grenade goes off underneath the vehicle. Definitely causes a big explosion. You swerve around a little bit. Sparks and smoke and sand and all kinds of shit comes flying out from underneath the vehicle. There's a little bit of rattling from under the carriage, but the vehicle's okay. Nobody inside the vehicle is hurt. So he's fired, everybody else has moved and has no line of sight. That's going to be it for enemy turn. It's now our turn.
Okay, I'm doing a drive check because I want to get around behind him like a Three Stooges episode, race around that building.
Okay, so you're going to be making 1, 2... You're pretty much already making 1... I'm looking at the corners. 1... Hold on. 1, 2, 3... Okay, the normal target number is 6.
Got
You're
it.
going to be making 3 very sharp turns while getting fired at from these 2 groups over here. I'm going to add 1 to the target number per turn. 1, 2, 3. Your target number is now 9.
Okay, target's a 9. I start with 7 dice.
Because you're basically doing the Tokyo Drift in a JTLV.
Why not?
There you go.
So I start with 7 dice, take 1 away because I'm wounded. My target number is a 9. Since this is 1 session, I'm going to be cheesy and spend yet another grit point. Because, hey, why not?
This whole game is 1 turn. So again, normally you're not this... people in the chat, normally we're not this liberal with grit points. In fact, I'm not even keeping track of them in the cheat, you'll notice.
This is my 3rd, so yeah. I know that. So I'm rolling my 6 dice against a 9. Only 2 successes with the grit point. That 9's a bitch of a target number. I had 3 8s.
1, 2, 3. Yeah, you basically fishtailed all the way around it, through this creek, back up out of the creek bed, jumped the bridge. Yeah, that was some driving right there. That's why the target number was so high. That was a very difficult maneuver. We're gonna catch all kinds of fire. 1, 2 groups. That's a total of 6 guys. I'm gonna roll this many dice, but super fast. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They each get 5 dice. 30 dice. I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna do 6 dice and multiply the result by 5 because I don't want to be here all day. All right. This is all 6 of those guys just blasting away. 1. Oh boy, did you get lucky. We'll say they each spent 1 grip point. 2 times 6, that's a total of 12 dice. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So as you were doing that Tokyo drift around the building, 6 men emptied their AKs into your side as you were spinning around doing that.
Rude.
We're looking for 10s. A little bit got through. Alright, we're now going to roll on the D10 vehicle table to see what happens. 3. The gunner was hit. That's me. Oh no!
Ah.
So that's the 3 right there. Oh boy, that's not nice. That's not nice.
Are you the gunner or the passenger?
I'll just say I'm the gunner. I'm not going to be a
Okay.
dick. I just said it was. 1, 2, 3, 4... Oh wait, no, that was only 1 net hit. And it's 6 for a... It's 6 for a medium assault rifle, right? 7. Sorry. Cool. I just caught a whatchamacallit? I just caught a 7.62 combo block. Alright, my stamina is 3 because I jacked it up. That means my target number to damage is a 6. 1, 2, 3. Oh my god, 4, 5. Ugh. Okay, time to soak that with some body armor. 5 damage. Spending 1 on the luck point. Tactical armor gives you 3 dice. I only got 1 success. Plus my grip point makes 2. That means 3 levels got through. Mr. Blockchain has now been knocked down to moderate bleeding. I did catch a piece of that. I did catch a piece of that AK fire, pretty badly in the shoulder.
If we can slow down this BMP, we're gonna have to do first aid checks on each other.
Okay, so my second action, again, I declared myself as the gunner, so I'll be the guy that's operating that gunnery. Except I didn't give myself vehicle weapons. You're gonna have to operate that gunnery, that gunner check.
Okay.
Which means the vehicle's now stopped.
Yep.
Also, you're the player character. NPCs should never upstage player characters. All right, so now it's time for you to roll the mother of all at the end of your turn, or at the end of your action. Actually, you know what? Let's be fair.
A new action.
Let's call that your third action.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. That would have to be my third action.
Because you have to
For your second action, can you do a first aid check on me so I can get rid of my -1?
Or I could do a first aid check on myself or shoot some bad guys. But no, you're right.
Why don't you shoot some bad guys?
The BMP is more important. Plus, we've already shown people how firearms damage works a couple times. Let's do something non-combat related.
Okay.
All right, so I have wounds. 2. Education or wits. Either one. They're both the same for me, so it doesn't matter. I'll take education.
Sorry, I'm just tough ears when I was talking about driving around the corner.
Uh-oh.
He said, cue the Benny Hill theme music.
Yeah, you literally... I said Tokyo Drift right around the building. The Syria Drift. So I have a grand total of 5 points. I'm literally burning up all my grip points. Because, again, this is kind of a scrimmage game at best. Because also this is important. Okay.
And then doesn't the first aid kit give you a bonus?
The first aid kit gives me a bonus. Rating is variable. I think we said ours were +2.
Yes.
It depends on how much money you spend. We work for a well-funded PMC firm. So, yeah, +2. That gives me 2 dice. Added to my roll. Thanks very much. The target number is at a minimum 6, or the number of damage levels +3. Or no, what did I say? The rules. The rules say minimum of 6, or the level of damage, whichever is higher. So once you get to organ damage, shock, and incapacitated, first aid becomes really hard because the person is literally dying in your hands. But you're down to, I think you said -2. Yeah, so this is just a basic first aid check.
Yeah, this is just to get rid of my -1 before I have to go up against that BMP.
The target number on a first aid check is 6. Again, the standard is always 6 until you hit the reds. Then it's become 7 or 8 or 9. All right. So I have a total of 7 dice with a grip point. 1, 2, and a 3. Oh, that was a 9. Plus the grip point makes 4. It means you, for game purposes, I mean, you're still wounded, obviously, but for game purposes, wound penalty purposes, you're back up to 0.
Yeah, but where that comes into play for anyone who doesn't know is I'm no longer bleeding. I no longer get the penalty, but I am still wounded. So if I get hit again,
You start at 3.
I start at the 3. I don't start back up at 0.
Yeah, you
They
don't
are
pay the wound
cumulative.
penalties. Yeah. Also, at the end of the game, like at the end of the mission, it's like, I think we said it's a week per green level, a month per yellow level, and like 3 months per red level.
Yeah.
This game will put you in a wheelchair for years. Not kidding around. In fact, Brun, the guy who used to play, Ajax, did some great off the table writing where he actually wrote his character going through physical therapy and kind of coming back. It's a thing, and you will literally have to miss missions. Guys, we're playing HK Apps next turn. Oh, wait, isn't your character still back at the rehab center? I'm sorry, you can't play. Or you can play a different character. We don't want to kick you out of the game in real life, but that character Ajax is still in physical therapy, learning to walk again. Sorry. That's the kind of approach that we took with this game. So, cool. But for now, that's why I kind of changed these to. Ooh, no, I didn't. I'm on the wrong character sheet. To NA. Those wounds are still there, but they're not applying any kind of a wound bonus. Or I should say a wound penalty. Alright, cool. So now we're going to go ahead and try and shoot that BMP. With your third action. The enemy doesn't get a third action. So that's why we're automatically jumping to third actions. Alright, so now it's time for you to roll dexterity plus vehicle weapons.
Which is much less than drive, but at least I have a point in it.
Where the hell is vehicle weapons?
I have it on my sheet. I spent it with XP.
There it is.
I have 1 dot in vehicle weapons.
Notice it is the most advanced thing. This lets you fire anything up to and including Mavericks, TOWs, 120mm smoothbores off M1A2 Abrams. These are the big toys. So right now you're using a vehicle weapon. It's a total of dexterity. 3 plus 1 is 4. The target.
And to round. Sorry.
Pick up those dice.
I didn't.
Okay. The rating of the vehicle's gun is variable, I think. But I think we're going to make it at least plus 2. 30 is plus 2. Yeah, okay, so add 2 to your die roll. This is the gun sights of the actual vehicle.
Excellent. I'll use red for fire.
No and trenting, then... says Ben Johnson.
Oh my god!
Remember trenting? No trenting. That's right.
Rolling all the dice. In case everyone's wondering what that is when you roll 1 dice at a time.
Here's
try
trenting.
And hit bad dice.
Here's trenting. Ready? My dice pool is 7 dice. Okay, I'm going to roll 7 dice. Here I go. I need a target number of 6, right? Okay, that one didn't make it. I'm going to go ahead and... not that one didn't make it. This is trenting right here. I'm going to go ahead and ping my remaining dice with the dice that the dice I haven't rolled yet in an effort to basically... It's long story short, it's cheating. We see when players do that. Hell no. All the dice get rolled at once. No more of that trenting bullshit.
And I'm spending my 4th grit point.
Ben says dispatcher is proud of your driving check.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's high praise coming from Trent.
I know.
Coming from
Happy Jihad One-Way Truck Rental.
All right, now that we just got banned off of Twitch, thanks for saying that. We are playing in Syria. It's fine.
Okay. Rolling the dice.
Yep.
Target is 6.
6 because it's contested. Yep. In other words, the enemy gets to dodge. It's hard to dodge in a BMP, but he does get to try.
Point spent.
Okay.
Can he dodge if he has no more actions?
You always get to dodge. Dodging is free.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4 with the grit.
Okay, he has 2 in agility and 2 in tracked vehicle driver. I think we already said that.
Yep.
And a grit point. Grit point turns that into a success. 4 successes. What did you get?
4.
A tie.
A
tie. Roll 1d10.
1. Let me not be cheesy. Let me roll first. I rolled an 8.
A 3. You hit.
Woohoo!
Barely. All right, so that's 1 success for you. Oh God. What now?
I said by the skin of my chinny chin.
Oh yeah, I thought you said Jim something. Okay, cool. All right, so going swiftly over to the vehicle damage table. 20mm automatic cannon has penetration of 15. A BMP has it's a IFE APC, has rear. Are you on the rear? Where are you hitting this guy at, or the side? I think it's mostly the side. It's the side. Side armor of anywhere between 4 and 10. No, 3 or 8 for an IFE APC. This is like a Bradley or something with like reactive armor panels on it. So an IFE APC, infantry fighting vehicle or armored personnel carrier, side armor of anywhere from 3 to 8, because there's 50 million kinds in the real world. So in this particular game, I think I have... Ooh, I didn't write it down. I did write it down. Hold on, guys. Sorry. I have the wrong piece on the table. Same piece, just one piece has actual stats on it, one doesn't. Sorry about that. Okay, so he has side armor of 8. 12, 8, 8, 6. That is front armor, side armor, rear armor, roof, and belly armor. Those are the 4 values for armor. So he's got 8 on the side. You have a penetration of 15. In order to get through, you have to roll 7 or less. You take one number, you subtract the other number, that's the result.
So I want low.
Yeah, you have to roll 7 or less.
On 1 dice.
Yep, that's just to see if your bullets get through the armor. Also, you only hit with 1. You get to roll once per hit you scored. As we saw, you tied. You basically got 0 hits, but you won the tiebreaker, so we're giving you 1 hit.
I rolled a 7. Does on count, or does it
Yes.
have to be below?
I said 7 or less.
I literally rolled a 7.
So you won the tiebreaker, and then you rolled right on the number for vehicle penetration. You're not very good at tank combat yet.
I've only got 1 dot hit.
Okay.
It probably would have been better to try and ram it.
No, a BMP would not. You would not win that get together. So yeah, the vehicle's now been penetrated. We're doing all kinds of damage in there. Damage area of effect, small, medium, and large, automatic. Yeah, I mean, there's now explosive 20mm ammunition inside the BMP. Although it's only a little bit, it's probably not going to kill very much.
He's only a little dead.
No, the vehicle's probably not even destroyed. You know what I need? I need to come up with... notice this effect column is empty. I need to finish filling out this chart. So if a small arms did 1 that penetrated, we already saw that. A 50 cal does 2. A 20mm does 4. We'll say it's 4 times 4 penetration successes. All right, cool. Except I can't spell. Long story short, roll 4 dice.
4 dice. Check. Unless otherwise stated, target number is a 6.
No, you're rolling on this APC IFV wheel chart table.
Oh, 4 dice. Okay, got it. Just flat numbers.
Yep.
Ready, and we've got a 8.
An 8 is cargo passengers. Got it.
A 5.
Engine. The vehicle's no longer going anywhere. You've now immobilized the vehicle. Next.
A 2.
You killed the driver. Next.
And a 1.
You killed the commander. So that vehicle's basically crippled. It's technically still there. The gunner is still there. And the gun system is still there. So, I mean, if we were going to continue into the next turn, but I said we were really only going to do 1 turn, we're now at the end of our 3rd actions. Technically, my guy... You know what? I get one. I do get a free action. Not a free action. I do get a 3rd action.
Try and shoot the gunner.
He's inside an armored turret. So that's not going to work. So my guy bails out, and he puts a grenade launcher into the back of the vehicle. Basically, okay, so again, we both get 3 actions. Wait, didn't you say my 3rd action was to... No, my second action. My second action was to give you your first aid check. Okay, so my 3rd action, again, the enemy only gets 2 actions. So my 3rd action is to bail out of the truck. Actually, my 3rd action apparently is to find the map. Sorry about that. Is to bail out of the truck and to fire his underslung grenade launcher into the back of the BMP. So, dexterity, grenade launcher. I think I gave myself 2 dice. 2 dice. Cool. So it's a total of 5 dice. Does the grenade launcher have a rating? Rating of 0, so no. Okay, cool. The enemy vehicle has already dodged. It does not get a second dodge. 1, 2, and the grip point. That is going to give me a total of 3 successes to hit. Alright. Does it penetrate the armor? I don't know if I gave that thing a penetration. Light cannon, grenade is only a 3. Oh no! I don't think I can penetrate his armor.
What about the weapon? Can you destroy the gun?
I can't penetrate the armor. Everything's behind armor. I think that was a dumb move on my part. But that's cool. You're not supposed to be able to grenade your way into an armored vehicle, to be perfectly honest. So I think I'm happy with this bad result. Back armor is 6.
It seems to fit. From what little I know, it seems to fit.
The back armor on this BMP is 6. I went for the weakest part of the armor. Actually, the back armor is 8. Sorry. The weakest part of the armor that I can hit is an 8. I only have a penetration of 3. 3 minus 8 is -5. I can't roll a -5 or below on a D10. That is going to be a no joy. So you know what I'll do instead? Because my character would not do that. He knows not to do that. He puts a grenade into that first group of 3 guys. I scored, what I say, 3 successes?
Yep. And they are pretty much out in the open.
Alright. Now these charts I'm pretty sure I do have. Short, medium, and range. Okay, so 12 dice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Plus the, how many successes did I get to hit? 3?
3.
Okay, they haven't dodged already this action. They will get a small chance to dodge, because they do see a grenade coming at them. There's going to be technically tactical evade plus agility, which we already declared earlier had a dice pool of 3. They'll spend a grip point. That's 3 successes. Okay, so the first 3 successes on my to hits don't count. So I scored 3, minus 3. Alright, cool. I'm now down to basically just a 12 from the explosion. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, I basically wounded all 3 of them. I'm not going to kill any of them. None of them get body armor. I'm counting in my head. Yeah, they're all at -6. I wounded all 3 of them. I didn't actually kill any of them. So that would be the end of the turn. These guys are all now at -6. Which I'll just kind of put in the middle to show that all 3 of them have that problem. And that would conclude the turn, because now I've taken my third action, Jen's taken her third action. There are no other characters. All the enemies have taken their first and second action. I'm going to put a small smoke thing on this vehicle because it's not completely crippled yet. It can't move, it has no commander, it has no driver, it still has a gunner and an operating cannon in there. So that vehicle is still a threat. It's going to come down, if we were going to do a turn 2, it's going to come down to who's got initiative. Basically, we're in a gunfight, an Old West style quick draw gunfight with automatic cannon at 20 paces. I would say Taki probably has a bonus on that roll because her gun is already pointing at the enemy. The enemy has to swivel that turret around in order to do it. So, but it would still be a roll because we both have 4 dice in initiative. Normally, whoever has high initiative just automatically goes first. We don't even dice for it. That's why we have it predetermined. But since everyone on the table has basically a rating of 4 in initiative, that's the only reason we have to dice. We have to roll for it. And again, for a theoretical turn 2, I would give Taki a bonus because again, her gun is already drawn, aimed, whatever the word is. The gun is laid. The gun sights are laid on the target. Whereas Mr. BMP is going to have to swivel that turret around, probably without engine power, Because we said we did knock out the engine. So he may be having to hand crank the turret around. Because that turret is, of course, electrically driven, and that electrical drive draws power from the engine. So, again, if this was going to be another turn, I may not even make her roll initiative. Just put another burst into that BMP and finish it off. Also, the BMP is not moving because it is no longer has an engine, no longer has a driver. So, it would not get a vehicle dodge. The vehicle's not moving. It's easier to hit a sitting target than a moving target. Is the bonus there. So basically, it would come down to, can Mr. Blockchain keep the enemy at bay? I've wounded these 3 guys, but there's one more clown back here, and there's 3 more fools coming up here, and there's another 2 guys coming around my flank. I'm outnumbered 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 to 1, plus 3 wounded guys. Although those wounded guys are probably doing first aid checks on each other. But I'm outnumbered at least 7 to 1. I'm sorry, 6 to 1. To kind of keep the infantry off of Jen's ass while Jen finishes off that BMP. So I think we would have it on turn 2, but again, we're both already wounded. Yeah, who knows how it would turn out. Alright guys, I will now catch up on Mr. Chat, and then go ahead and close out Mr. Stream. We've been up for 2 hours, little over 2 hours. Okay, so Piotr says that he was also having a rough day on Thursday. Same here, that's why I did not give you a call. No worries, Piotr. We'll totally set something up and continue our playtesting on Stalingrad, Valor and Victory. Piotr then says, that was cool, but sadly I do need to skip. Please have fun. Absolutely no worries. I know it's like 10:20 where you are right now, if not 11:20. Probably 10:20, so yeah, take it easy, everybody, and have a great day. We already talked about Mr. Ben and Trenting. We talked about what Trenting was. So if I hear dice hitting the tray in more than one group, or if, God forbid, players use webcams and show their dice rolls the way I do, I know when you're cheating. You do not get to roll your dice in groups. But no worries. Ben's just kidding around. Oh no. What do we got here? Over here in Twitch, we've got a lot of discussion here going on. So, okay, Tuffy here says Starsky and Hutch. Okay, Rasmus says yes. Okay, I'm in the middle of a conversation here. There is a Templar kind of damage. Okay, I'm assuming this is when Jen was running people over with her truck. Hunting with a Fender. That's our tacky. That's true. She always does that. She likes to bowl for bad guys. That's her MO. One bad guy did dodge. Yeah, I did get lucky with one really good roll. Yeah, so Templar says, I'm really reluctant to spend grid points. I need to work on that. In fairness, Templar, not spending a grid point is usually the right answer. Because you only get so many of them, and they go really fast. And not many people have this many grid points. Jen's got a lot. She's got 7. That's a lot. She's a very high, strongly willed character.
But I'm also a little nutty, so that's...
Yeah, mine's not that high, and I'm almost out of willpower. When you're out of willpower, your character just sits down and cries. He's had enough. He literally also, just breaks down.
We've been spending them like water, but on a real mission, you're not going to do that because you only get 1 back a day.
That's if nothing happens.
If nothing happens.
1 per good night's sleep.
Yeah.
How often does that happen in the field? Thank you.
And I remembered one time I was wounded, and when you're wounded, you don't get it back because your sleep is keeping you from getting worse wounded. It's not giving you grit.
You technically aren't getting a good night's sleep.
Yeah.
So on a multi-day mission, especially a game that takes 5 sessions, and again 30 hours of gameplay, you pretty much get that many grid points, and that's it. So when Nova Templar says that he's reluctant to spend grid points, I totally get it, and that's usually the right answer. Here, this was just demo. We weren't even playing an entire scene, much less an entire game. We were literally playing through 1 turn. And to spend 4 grid points in 1 turn is nuts. Then again, we did hit this base camp all by ourselves. There's just 2 characters, and we are taking on like 12 bad guys and an armored vehicle. That's an intense 30 seconds of, commando level, drop the gun, pick up the next one, drop the gun, pick up the next one. Grade A all-American whip ass right there. So yeah, I totally get what Nova Templar is saying there. Rasmus says, Nova Templar, you need to work on spending XP points. That's true. He has not spent a single XP point in the game. I have actually found it useful, though. I just go to his character sheet, and that's how I know how much experience the party, more or less, has accrued. Now, I think Novus Templar did miss at least 2 sessions, if not more, so the group has earned more than this, but yeah, like this here is 40. I'm pretty sure the group is up to 60. We've done about 60 hours, 65, 66 hours. And again, it's usually a one XP point per hour. Cue the Benny Hill theme as he drives around. Dutch says, fun, he says, as 2 dead PCs. Yeah, it's just me rolling the anti-tank grenade underneath the JTLV. All right, Dutch, thanks for coming out. So take it easy, Limburger. Definitely appreciate you guys coming out. And thank you, Rasmus. Okay, guys, we're going to go ahead and close out the stream. Hopefully that was a pretty good indication of how HCAPS generally works. Again, it's not all combat. Usually there's one big combat scene, for lack of a better term. One combat scene per session. And a session usually runs about 5 to 6 hours. And there's going to be one hell of a big combat scene in there somewhere. But the rest of it is intelligence gathering. The rest of it is tracking down contacts. Do you trust this contact? Does this contact turn you over to the insurgents? Can you trust the other people you're with? Again, you don't work for the military, you work for a private insurgency. You run into real military guys. What happens when you're a group that's out there by the civilians, not subject to UCMJ, not subject to the DoD, and you suddenly run into a Delta Force team? Are they going to attack you? You're not American personnel. They might attack you in a war zone. Now you have to build a relationship with them. Do you want to enlist them to your side? There's a lot of, again, half the character sheet, literally, is non-combat skills, and half the game is non-combat. But when it actually gets into shooting combat, yeah, this is the kind of stuff that we see. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that, or it was at least a quick primer on how HK Ops works. Again, we're trying to get back more into our modern military gaming session, our modern military subject matter. We've done a lot of World War II, American Revolution, even some American Civil War. We're sort of trying to, get back to our base mandate, so to speak. But we definitely appreciate all the support you guys give us anyway. Hopefully we'll have another game of some kind next Sunday. I'll send out the email as always and see if anyone is interested in doing that. I really hope so, because we have to start getting back to these Sunday war games in a more aggressive manner, in a more sustainable manner. We haven't had a lot of responses lately. It's starting to discourage me a little bit, to be honest. If we're not going to run these Sunday war games anymore, we're going to have to switch to something else. We have to have something on Sunday. Or at least the weekend. Sometime in the weekend we have to have something, and in order to stream content for you guys. And if we don't get opponents for war games, we'll have to do hobby, or which might not be a bad thing. Hobby or recorded games, or who knows. We'll figure something out.
And I just have to announce that I am not going to be able to do too much more gaming because the school year is about to start. Once the school year's up and running, I'll be available, but for probably at least the next month, I won't be able to do anything.
Oh, no, I mean, I'm not, disappointed or discouraged in any people in particular. It's obviously. But this email goes out to like 16 people a week. And
yeah, no, I know.
I get like one response every 3 weeks. That means for every 48 shots, I get one hit. That's starting to get a little old. I'm not going to lie. But, maybe we need to change pace. Maybe we need to either stop Sunday wargaming or switch it to Sunday hobby, or who knows. We'll figure something out. But if you guys want to keep seeing Sunday wargaming, we need opponents. If you're not really worried about Sunday wargaming, no worries. We'll totally switch to something else. We'll definitely keep coming out with content for you guys. No worries about that.
Well, thanks for coming out. I loved all the interplay in the chat. That was fun.
And I'm definitely surprised that we got this many. I thought everyone would be, watching UK Games Expo, but definitely appreciate it on multiple platforms. So Novus Templar says, I'm going to go queue up the Desert Eagles videos now. Marathon incoming. Yeah, you've got 30 hours of YouTube in front of you.
That is a marathon.
Yeah, good luck with all that.
He can let us know next time who actually done in Don Wilson.
I'm almost positive I think it was Red shot at him, and then he was wounded, and then the enemies finished him off, or vice versa. He was in a Jeep. He was in a Jeep driving away, and somebody shot him in the back or the chest or something happened. Yeah, he was definitely making a run for it. You don't do that.
Because I remember having to clean out the Jeep.
Yep. Roll Dex plus Kleenex.
Hey, get this vehicle maintenance, baby. Bodies and blood count as part of vehicle maintenance.
Brains and bone fragments splattered all over this upholstery, man. Come on, this isn't... Now you're in that scene in Pulp Fiction where you have to clean up poor Marvin out of the back seat. That was basically where we were. Why'd you shoot Marvin in the face? I didn't mean to, man. The gun just went off. You're a professional hitman, dude. Why are you pointing a gun in somebody's face when you don't mean to shoot them? All right, guys, on that cheerful note, we're going to go ahead and...
Rasmus is bringing up the boyfriend.
With the boyfriend. Oh, there was a little bit of there were several love triangles in that group. And there were several interlinked, it wasn't just isolated love triangles. There were love triangles that were sort of hooked into each other. That turned into a little mini soap opera, but it was fun. It's a role-playing game, guys. It's not just a war game. It's not just about locking that bolt forward, pulling it back, and putting steel in the black. It's about, real people. And sometimes the stuff gets complicated. And we have had, past tense, not just one. We've had multiple females in the group. It's fun to play with, people from different backgrounds, and it's fun. That's kind of why we play private military contractors, so that you're not all Roger, Ramjet, Marines, U.S. Marine Corps, red, white, and blue, in the military. Subject to UCMJ. Oh, by the way, the party leader is a sergeant or a staff sergeant. He is the boss. If you don't do what he says, you go to Fort Leavenworth for 20 years, or you get shot. That's how it works, especially in combat. That makes sense in combat. It's not really fun for a role-playing game. I mean, a lot of role-playing games have a party leader, but the party leader isn't supposed to have dictatorial powers, because that takes away people's agency and it ruins the fun of the role-playing game. However, realistically, in a military squad, that is how it works. So again, military role-playing is tougher than, not tougher, more complicated than a lot of people think. And I think it's because most people who do it don't know very much about the military.
That would be me.
But that's why we went with private military contractors. It's still military-like, military-esque, but plenty of freedom for player agency, character creation. We can have women in the group. We can have people from any country in the group. It's all fine. Different backgrounds, cops, tech guys, Delta Force, SA, who knows? Doesn't matter. You can have whoever you want in the group. It just works better for a role-playing setting. It's fun to play with females. Creepy? I don't know. It depends if you're a female or not. Tough ears. And I'd ask you to keep your fantasies about me to yourself, especially when my girlfriend's on the stream. So take it easy there, tough ears. Tough ears. We'll talk later. Just don't worry about it.
Hockey never did her patented.
Yeah. Well, she had no time. She was busy running people over. All right, guys. In all seriousness, we're blasting off. Ben says, "Have a good week. Take care with everybody. Take care, everybody. Have a great week going forward, and we'll totally be in touch very soon. Take care, everybody."